But we didn't have a problem until you spoke into this microphone and you said that the Golden Lovers are the best tag team in the world. The Golden Lovers are not the best tag team in the world. The Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world. Which brings me to the very reason that we're out here. From this day forward, my brother and I have decided to move on up and compete in the heavyweight tag team.
Wow! It is now official. They've been talking about it.
So I guess what that means is, see you around.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin' It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin' It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out in Barrio the Frogs. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
You're listening to Keeping It Strong Style on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Jeremy Donovan alongside the young boy Josh Smith. This week we got a jam-packed show for you. We'll be covering the fallout from Honor Rising, Strong Style Evolved, New Japan Cup participants. Make sure you support our show and the network by subscribing on your favorite podcast app, leaving us the Dave Meltzer 5-star rating, and checking all the podcast archives out at socialsuplex.com. If you go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe, you can sign up to get all our podcasts and columns delivered directly to your email inbox as soon as they are published. And speaking of columns, we want to give a quick shout out once again to Jordan Fox. You can follow him on Twitter at Fox the Podcaster. He dropped his first column for Social Suplex today called "What Is This New Japan Thing?" It is blowing up New Japan Reddit right now, blowing up Social Suplex. Check it out, share it. Jordan's also going to be doing the New Japan on Access weekly reviews on Social Suplex.
Nice.
So we'll be able to check that out and reference those on the show. Also, Jordan has a weekly morning show coming out called the Good Brothers Podcast. Josh, I got us booked on that show. We're going to be doing a run-in on that show at some point. And,
I have no foreknowledge about the fact we're going to be on this show. Jeremy's like my agent now.
And we're gonna have him doing a run-in on here as well. So thanks, Jordan, for the fire column, and keep it up, man.
Yeah. Speaking of getting booked, last night we were at Kaiju Big Battle, and your boys are getting over out here in these streets.
Yeah, man. We had people recognizing us from the Wrestling Squared Circle, and we got interviewed.
Yeah, we got interviewed, and I was like, "Can we plug the show?" And they're like, "Yeah." No, you guys run a show? I'm like, "Yeah, man. You don't know about Keeping It Strong Style? It's the Ace of Podcast.
Top talent out here, man."
No, yeah, but I do have a little bit of an issue with what you said earlier in the lead up to the show just now. You did a great opener, Jeremy, but you told everyone to leave the 5-star Dave Meltzer review. I think we need to call it the Jim Cornette 5-star review. He originated that star rating system, and we need to pay due to the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Cornette.
Jim Cornette. James E. Cornette. All right, Josh, let's waste no time here.
No, we've been wasting a lot of time. You guys have no idea how, like, usually we do these podcasts and it is flawless. Like, just so smooth in the ring, straight Randy Orton Okada status. And tonight it has been a cluster.
We've been bumbling. Who'd be a good comparison?
Like Ishii when he's selling.
Yeah, we were bumbling around like Ishii selling.
My God.
Botching, doing the job to my crappy Dell laptop.
Yeah, it's time to put that thing to rest, man.
Yeah, I'm about to do my taxes and get that MacBook Pro, son. Gonna be recording that 6-star audio for you guys.
Also, tonight feels strange because in the past we always recorded here at Strong Style Studios on my round table, and unfortunately I'm actually moving in with Jeremy. But that's not the unfortunate part. The unfortunate part is that the era of the round table is now gone. We are currently sitting on an air mattress, recording this show from a coffee table.
Yeah.
In an empty apartment because I'm getting ready to move out of Strong Style Studios.
This is the last episode recorded at Strong Style Studios.
Wherever I live is Strong Style Studios.
Yeah, this is Strong Style Studios 1.
Yeah, part 2. The return.
All right, so this past weekend we had Honor Rising Japan 2018.
Oh my God, what a show. One for the record books. Legendary. I mean, this makes the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Cup Tournament look like it was child's play. I mean, this was incredible. No, I'm just playing. It was pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, some decent matches on both nights. I mean, it was another solid card. Both nights.
I did not like the Ring of Honor setup. And I don't get me wrong, I understand why they do it, because when people come to Korakuen, just like when they come for like the CMLL shows, they want like the authentic like Ring of Honor presentation and the authentic experience. But dude, I don't know, I don't like their ring. And I like, it felt so out of place seeing like turnbuckles in Korakuen on a New Japan show. I missed the regular ring, man.
You know, it didn't bother me.
It bothered me
all too much.
I'm picky about weird stuff like that.
I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't look bad at highlight actually one bit.
Yeah, I did. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "What are they doing?"
Minus 5 stars.
No, it's fine. They did it. I think they did that last year too. But it's, you know what? I really, since we're on the subject, I don't like the Ring of Honor ring that they have now.
Right, their old ring that they had like in 2002,
they had it for a while. It was like from like 03 or 04 to like 06 or 07.
I think even 08 maybe.
We're talking about the classic ring that was the black mat with the red outline, kind of like how New Japan has the white outline with the classic block ROH logo. And dude, I thought that presentation when they had that back then was so much more big league and professional looking than what they have now. Ever since like around the Jim Cornette like era, I haven't really dug the setup for the Ring of Honor ring. And I just want to we're talking about Ring of Honor tonight, so I just figured I put the plug out, like Ring of Honor, who books Ring of Honor, I don't even know.
Delirious.
Okay, Delirious, and like, who is it, like Kerry Silken, and like...
I don't think Silken books, I think it's all Delirious. I don't know
whoever owns it, whoever's like the decision maker there, yeah. They need to take a look back at some of their archives and change.
As far as production stuff, yeah, maybe Silken, Gary Gesture.
You would know more than I would. I missed that ring. Like all the great champions that were there and all the great matches I saw were in that ring, and I want it back. It looks so much better than what they have now. It's weird that like NXT's like basically like stealing the gimmick of Ring of Honor, but their production and their rings look so much. It's like the same ring, but it just looks better than what like Ring of Honor uses right now. I wish they would change it. Yeah, like clean it up. They got like freaking Sinclair broadcasting money behind them. Like clean the freaking ring up.
That's the thing. Like Sinclair, yeah, does own it, but they don't not putting as much money as they could be behind the product.
I think like every ring that TNA ever had, it looks better than the ring they have right now.
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about these Honor Rising shows. So night 1 opened up. We had Bad Luck Fale and the Tokyo Pimp Yujiro Takahashi going against Toa Hanare and Kitamura.
the super young boy team.
Yeah, dude, this is a team that you wanted in the World Tag League.
I liked them actually.
I was gonna tell you, dude, they were pretty good as a team.
Yeah, the match wasn't that great, but as a team, I was like, hey, I kind of dig this.
Kitamura was a way better partner for Hanare than Togi Makabe.
Yeah, I felt like they had better like chemistry. I don't know. There's just two young, really young lions who are like really hungry, like just scratching their way. I don't know. I kind of dug that tag team. Plus, their styles complement one another because they're both so freaking hard hitting. You know, I thought like they kind of made up for each other's like shortcomings a little bit. I like the team a lot.
Yeah, they're a really solid team. Probably one of the.
We haven't even talked to you and I have not had a discussion about these shows either.
Right. Usually
before this is happening live, so it's interesting that we have the same thought.
I was out of town this weekend, so I like binge watched both nights Saturday night, and I know you watched them, one on Friday, one on Saturday, and we hadn't had a chance to talk really.
We could have, but we were watching indie wrestling all day.
We were watching
yesterday.
Kaiju Big Battle.
Oh yeah, and I was at that Tampa Bay Pro show.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought they were a solid team. And our predictions, we predicted that that team was going to lose.
And the real answer there, or the real question was who was going to take the fall there, and we got the answer, Kitamura.
Right. So once again, it shows that New Japan sticks to their guns. If you're a young boy or a junior, you were taking the fall in a tag match.
The nice thing there, though, is like when they're really pushing certain young lions like Kitamura, and you see this a lot of times, they give, or like you saw this with Hanare a lot in the World Tag League, they let them fire up and get some big offense and really look good in the match against some veteran talent, which Kitamura towards the tail end looked like he could actually win. They give him some near falls. They end up taking a big finisher and kicking out of it, so it makes them look strong,
right,
and show their fighting spirit, and then they get hit with one big finisher, and it's the same thing they do every time, but it's a formula that really works.
And one thing I must say I do not like with Kitamura is him going for the suplex, because I feel like if you can go for a suplex, why would you just not jackhammer him?
Was he suplexing guys in that match?
He suplexed Fale.
I guess he did, but I kind of forgot.
But he did that in a previous match, I believe, with either Nakanishi or Tenzan, where he's fighting for the you think he's fighting for the jackhammer, but he's fighting for a suplex.
Yeah.
Like at that point, like you have him up, just turn in and jackhammer him.
Well, he's a stupid babyface.
He's a young boy.
He's a young lion, and he's a stupid babyface.
He doesn't know any better.
But yeah, that match was okay. I mean, nothing, like we said, it was just an opener, nothing to write home about. Fale hit him with the, what is he called, the hand grenade?
The grenade, yeah.
The grenade, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. They picked up the win. Good little match.
Then next we had Jushin Thunder Liger, Delirious, and Cheeseburger taking on the not all Never Six-Man champs, but Tama Tonga and Tangaloa,
the girls
2/3 of the Never Six-Man Open champs, and their, quote, little brother, Hikuleo.
Yeah, so, I mean, this was pretty fun. Bro, Cheeseburger's so over in Tokyo.
Dude.
It's so crazy how over he is.
Dude, that man is made for life.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't know. Like, Japanese people love him, man, you know? I was popping every time he was hitting guys with shotes, like.
Oh my gosh.
And then one thing that I thought was funny in those matches was like they would do the spot where he'd be in the corner and the guy tried to run towards him and he'd move out of the way, but like it was so easy for him to dodge stuff because he's got so little like area to cover because he is so small. Like,
dude, yeah,
he just has to sidestep and they just run into each other. It's hilarious.
But it was a pretty entertaining match. It was, kind of a comedy match.
I mean, that's what you're going to get with Delirious and Cheeseburger and Liger together, of course, in Japan. So, I mean, yeah, it was, and also, like, Tama Tonga, when he's, like, doing his, like, comedy stuff, he's hilarious.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I'm saying, yeah, he's hilarious. And I got to say, for Hikuleo, this is probably the best he's looked so far this weekend. He looked really good both nights.
Yeah, you said that before. I didn't pick up on it so much. I'm not disagreeing. I just wasn't, I don't know. These shows, I was kind of into him, but I wasn't, like, super paying attention. But, like, why did you think he looked so good?
I mean, just compared to like the very first night we saw him, like he looked with deer in the headlights, like he wasn't sure like how to move around the ring and how to like control his body size, and like it's completely like 180.
He's still clunky.
But it's way better than when he first started. You can tell that he kind of has some ring awareness now. He's not completely giving guys moves. He's making them fight for it, which he should be doing with his stature and size.
Hikuleo cool, but I miss Cody Hall. I miss the OG young boy of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Did you heard when they were saying that that Tama Tonga makes him dress in the outside of the Bullet Club dressing room?
Right. Yeah.
In the hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Tough love, man.
He's getting the who did they do that to? And
getting the Miz treatment.
Yeah, the Miz treatment. But yeah, they look good here. Obviously, we thought Hikuleo was gonna take the fall here to set up the first night. One thing I thought about after this was I wish we would have looked when we were making our predictions last week. We would have looked at both cards together, because sometimes I was making my decisions not based off of the following night. You know what I mean? And all these matches ran into each other. But in this case, we thought, well, you know, if Liger and Delirious and Cheeseburger are getting a title shot the next night, it would make the most sense for them to go over here, and they did.
Right.
I think Delirious wasn't it Delirious that picked up the pinfall over Hikuleo?
I think so, yeah.
I don't even know what his finisher was, but he hit him with something.
No, didn't he like cradle him up, roll him up?
Oh yeah, he might have just cradled him.
Yeah,
I forgot.
It was some kind of roll up.
This was an okay match. It was fun. I mean, it was probably the weakest match on the card in all honesty, but you know, nothing super notable. But it was a nice little like storyline, set up the never 6-man title match for the next night.
Then we had the Young Bucks taking on Juice Robinson and David Finlay. This was pretty much a Young Bucks highlight match.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of what we expected. I thought because these two teams are both so good that we could get something better, and I'm sure we could if given more time and a real story and everything like that. But this was just a standard Young Bucks by the numbers match. They got in all their regular spots.
I popped. I think it was Matt that was like, let's do one of our badass tag team moves. Oh my.
I don't know why they're cussing so much. Those are good Christian boys.
But yeah, they were popping me the whole match. They were talking like the whole match.
Yeah, and in that quiet crowd, you could kind of hear everything they're saying, which was
like,
pretty funny.
See ya. You're dead.
I don't know. Sometimes, like, that stuff's cool. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm not as big on it, but yeah, it's cool. It's the Bucks. The Bucks are the Bucks. But
in this match, Meltzer Driver.
Yeah, they ended up hitting the Meltzer Driver on David
Finlay.
Of course. I mean, what's like at this point? Like, I watched this match with Rich, and Rich's like, he's like, what's Juice's what's his gimmick? And I was like, Juice fucks. I was like, that's his gimmick, man. He's out there getting it. Like,
oh man, yeah, he's
that's his whole gimmick, bro.
Slaying those ring rats.
Apparently, I guess.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. Don't say that, Jeremy. They're fine, upstanding women. In fact, they probably aren't even fans. They're probably just women he's meeting out in Tokyo. They don't even know what he does.
Out in Roppongi.
They
see a guy and young man with the dreads, and they're like, ooh.
But yeah, so the Bucks picked up the win here, which was kind of notable because, it's a heavyweight. Technically, I mean, it's a heavyweight tag team.
Right. So this was kind of foreshadowing what was going to come later on this weekend.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a good win for the Bucks, and it was quick, fun little match. Nothing that was blow away, but it was good.
Then up next we had Flip Gordon taking on Takahashi and Kushida in a 3-way.
So this was very good.
This was awesome, dude. We saw Flip Gordon for the first time a few months ago at Ring of Honor taping, and we were impressed then, and I continue to be impressed every time I see this guy wrestle.
Yeah, Flip Gordon's like the new Ricochet, man. Like, he's on a different level when it comes to aerials and athleticism.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, actually, like the stuff he can do.
I was loving how over he was with that Kurgan crowd.
Yeah, I don't think they even knew who he was, or if they did. I mean, that was the first time.
They're a pretty smarky crowd.
I don't know if they know him from being the Elite or not, but I don't know if they really like knew him prior to this match, but I mean, everybody knew him by the time it was over.
Right. I mean, they were chanting his last name. They were chanting Gordon. They were chanting Flip. Like, he was super over in this match.
This crowd was really like, it was a smarky crowd. They're doing a lot of like North American chants.
They were doing the Ring of Honor chants.
Yeah. So they were like, they must like watch the product somewhat, which is kind of cool. But man,
I mean, they've been partnered for what, like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, but how long's Flip been with them? A year?
About a year, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he came out of nowhere. I didn't before we went and saw him in Lakeland. I'd never heard of him. I didn't even know who he was, and he's incredible.
Yeah, he's awesome, and like I predicted, Flip got the win here. They're gonna shine this man up, get him ready for Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, so that's now. Let's not take anything away because you're just talking about Flip. Like, you didn't even mention who he wrestled in this match. Like,
this was the Flip Gordon show. Yeah, he wrestled, 2 top juniors, 2 of the best, Takahashi and Kushida.
Yeah, so he wrestled Hiromu, Takahashi, and Kushida, and I thought that this match was actually very good. I thought they acquitted themselves very well also. So it wasn't like... The thing is, it's just Flip is so, like, fantastic. He really just stood out here with a lot of the stuff he was doing.
Which I think this was the point of this match.
To showcase him.
Showcase Flips, because we're going to see him in the Best of the Super Junior. Based off what happened on night 2, it looks like there's going to be a rivalry between him and Takahashi. They'll probably meet each other in Best of the Super Juniors and rival each other throughout the rest of this year.
Hiromu's going to beat that bum. He's going to get his win back.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, this was very, very good. I thought, it ended a little... I mean, it was a short match. It wasn't anything that was, like, super epic. It got, how long did they go? Like 12, 13...
12 or 15, I think.
Yeah, 13 minutes. But it was just the perfect length to just get the stuff in and showcase what Flip could do. I mean, Flip was doing some... I don't even know what to call it. Like, he was doing crazy stuff. And he works, like, a flippy style that's not even so much just, like... like lucha based, but he does like a lot of North American, like junior heavy, like
flippy stuff.
Flip stuff. It's really, really cool. I dug this match a lot. I mean, I thought, I don't know, like triple threats are cool. You don't see a lot of them in New Japan, but yeah, I mean, it was cool. There was one counter. He did a counter to the time bomb that was really crazy. Do you remember that? I think he started going to the time bomb, and then he did some sort of like weird, like flippy trip.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then he did that off the top rope. He did that like spinning sling blade out of midair, and that popped.
Dude,
like,
that was sick.
I didn't even know what that was. I'd never seen that before.
Neither have I.
So yeah, but
and then he does like a moonsault like Death Valley Driver thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but this was very good, and obviously they are starting to. Hopefully, Flip is. I'm expecting like Flip. He looks so good. I'm sure he's probably going to be back for Best of the Super Juniors.
Not probably. He will be.
I mean,
I'm calling it right now.
Okay. I mean, you've been saying that though, so that I mean, how good is a? Can you imagine like a Volador Jr. and Flip Gordon match?
Oh my gosh, dude.
That'd be really good, huh? So yeah, so Flip looked great here. Not to take anything away from Kushida and Takahashi, but they kind of took a back seat and let him get all his stuff in, and he got the big win over Hiromu in Corkin in his debut, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I thought they would pin Kushida for sure.
I think. Well, remember I talked about this last week where I said, Takahashi just came off of a loss. And, he could have pinned Kushida. It would have been fine. But, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really damage either guy too much to really take the fall because they both are coming off losses recently. I mean, I don't think Kushida lost recently, but he's been in multi-man matches kind of cool down.
He hasn't done jack since Wrestle Kingdom.
Not really. Yeah, he's just been in multi-man matches. So, I mean, either way, it's fine. But Flip looked great.
Yeah, he did.
This is like the second best match on the show, too.
Yeah. Next up, 6-man action. We had Switchblade Jay White, the Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, taking on the Ring of Honor World Champ Dalton Castle, Jay Lethal, and Taguchi, the Pervert.
So this was okay. I mean, you got Dalton Castle with his like t-shirt on, his house show attire. Jay Lethal came. I mean, they did their stuff. I thought this might actually end up being better than it ended up being. It was kind of a letdown to some degree for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a letdown in general that we talked about this last week, that Jay didn't have a one-on-one match either night.
Yeah.
I feel like he was underutilized on this card.
I mean, I felt like the whole card was underutilized with some of the talent that Ring of Honor has that they didn't decide to bring along just in general.
Right.
You know, it's really strange some of the guys that they did decide to bring versus other, some of the other talent they have.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, nothing too special about this match.
I mean, the big story, was that it was setting up Trent and Dalton for the next night. I think we talked about it. I think we hypothesized that Trent would probably pick up a win over like Taguchi. It didn't really end up working out that way. I think it was Jay White ended up hit him with the sling blade.
Yeah, he hit the switchblade, sling blade on.
It's not the sling
switchblade, or the Blade Runner.
The Blade Runner, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow, we're botching. Blade Runner on
Taguchi. So yeah, he took out Taguchi, and then I think there was a stare off between Trent and Dalton Castle for the next night.
Well, Trent didn't do much in this match because he went in here with a torn bicep and a torn pec.
Yeah, he was all taped up in this match, so that was one
Wrestling against doctor's orders.
Yeah, so that was, that kind of plays in. We'll talk about that more on night 2, but this was just a standard 6-man tag. I was interested, and I've been interested. Every time Jay White comes out, I'm always interested to see how he is going to interact with the other Chaos members, and it's like he's a non-entity in Chaos. He's there and he's on a team, but he's like an outside man.
Yeah, it's almost like them just teaming with somebody random.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like when you see Trent teaming up with like Yoshihashi and like Goto,
right,
or something like that. You kind of know he's like part of Chaos and there's like a camaraderie, but like White's getting his own entrance, he's got his own attire, he doesn't celebrate with the guys, he's just there to do business. He's on the same team as them, but that's about it. So it's very interesting. Like he hardly interacted with Best Friends at all.
Right. Yeah, I was hoping for some comedy spots with like them trying to hug him.
There wasn't really a lot of comedy spots too much. I mean, the Best Friends did some comedy stuff, but not a ton.
Right.
So this was fine. It set up Trent and Dalton for the next night basically, and Taguchi took the pin. I don't. Is that who we both predicted was?
We predicted the Chaos team.
I think we got pretty much every match right, except for I thought Kushida was going to pick up the win over Flip Gordon for some weird reason because I'm an idiot.
Then up next we had the Never Openweight Championship match. Goto defended against Bear City Bruiser. And we talked about last week, I was not thrilled about this match, but it was better than I expected. Bear City Bruiser.
You thought it was going to be terrible.
I thought this match was going to be...
See, it wasn't that good, but you thought it was going to be awful.
I thought it was going to be a dud.
I mean, it wasn't really a dud, but it wasn't anything to write home about either.
It was like 2.5.
It was like 3 stars.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It was fine.
It was fine. Goto versus Beer City Bruiser is fine. No, but one thing that... I'll tell you what, though, bro. Man, if I was on the front row and Beer City Bruiser spit that freaking beer on me,
shooting.
I'm not even joking, bro. It's one of those things that literally pisses me off so bad. Like, to think of someone come up and spitting something on me, like wrestler or not. Whew, man, I'm telling you.
Him, Lance Archer.
I'm never going to Corkin. Like, and if I do, I'm not sitting on the front row.
Right.
Like, it's just not now. Like that, New Japan just lets this crap fly. Like, nah, it's not. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's something that really actually pissed me off. Like, I don't know how the fans were like enjoying that, letting that big fat dude spit on them, spit that disgusting beer. My god. Thank God also there was no beads in this match.
Oh man.
How about Goto versus Beer City Bruiser was better than Goto and Evil?
It was.
Yeah, it was, probably. If not about the same, and I mean that's pretty terrible to say that.
Because there was no heat for either match.
Nah, I don't think that Beer City Bruiser as a gimmick really translates to like Japan that much. They didn't really seem to care.
I mean, to them it's just another big fat white guy, and
I guess, yeah.
That hits hard.
I mean, he could have probably like I don't know, got himself over by, if he would have done like crazier stuff, like done the whole like Stan Hansen routine, I think if anything, Sammy Callahan shows me that like if you'll just come out as a gaijin and throw chairs,
You'll get over.
So he could have done the Terry Funk or like the
Stan
Hansen like routine and gone crazy, but he didn't. So I mean, I've learned already that's the key to getting over as a gaijin in Japan. You just, I mean, look at Jericho.
Right, you just go crazy.
You gotta do crazy crap. But
So, yeah,
this match was okay.
It was fine. It
Way
was
to go.
whatever.
How about Beer City Bruiser coming off the top rope and hitting that?
Oh, frog splash?
Yeah, he like almost destroyed his kneecaps. It's terrible. But
my God.
Goto hit him with what? The GTR?
GTR, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So Goto retains his title, thank God.
Yeah. All right, the main event of this night, we had the American Nightmare Cody, the villain Marty Scurll, and Hangman Page going against the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and the honorary Tongan Chase Owens.
Yeah, so this was like the only match leading up to it that really had a lot of intrigue, a lot of heat, and leading up to this, even though we've kind of said, yeah, everything was fine on this card, there was nothing really, I don't know, the pacing of the card didn't really leave me feeling like, man, this is a really good card, you know what I mean? And towards the end of it, I started like snoozing out after that 6-man with Chaos, and then after the Goto match, I was like, not really feeling this card, even though the matches were just okay. But this match turned things around. This was a very, very, very good 6-man tag.
Yeah, I mean, you had this match was full of top talent. The crowd was super hot for this match. The first time the Golden Lovers are back together.
Bro, how about them coming out and just Smiley Kenny?
Yeah.
Smiley Kenny, babyface Kenny.
But dude, they were just awesome.
Yeah, they popped like crazy when they came out. And Don Callis calling it, he's like, my God, the people are rushing. They're rushing the rails just to touch them.
Like the Beatles.
Like the Beatles.
And Chase Owens, man. We've been on the Chase Owens bandwagon for a while now, but he performed very well in this main event matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was noticeable about Chase Owens in this match, he was like the utility player. Every time he got in the ring, he's so good, man. But obviously, the crowd was not into him, so there was like an audible difference for how hot the crowd was when Kenny or Kota was in the ring versus when he'd get in. I mean, it was like they would die, but he was still so good, man. He's so good. Like, I love Chase Owens. Like, it's kind of getting insane at this point.
And then Marty Scurll, he had the gray hair. All the stress from this Bullet Club Civil War has grayed out the villain.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about being the Elite, 'cause they just came out with a new episode last night. But, you know, when he came out with the gray, I just thought it was part of the gimmick. I didn't realize like they're trying to get over the idea that he's actually quote unquote graying.
Right.
So that was pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, him, Hangman, and Cody came out. Cody on the first night, did Cody have the gear that said leader on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like. That was
He had
really
the gear both nights.
Yeah, but it was different gear, wasn't it, or was it the same gear?
I thought it was the same.
I don't remember, but yeah, he came out with his new gear on, and it had leader on it, which was kind of a slap to the face of Kenny Omega. Mm-hmm. And you know, Hangman was out there, and Scurll, and let's talk about the match, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great maneuvers. I mean, the whole story of this match was seeing Kenny and Kota tag for the first time, and that was denied.
Yeah.
Chase Owens would tag in with Kenny. He cut off that first tag. Then you would have like Cody and Hangman rush the ring to make sure they didn't tag.
Yeah, they kept cutting it off and like not paying it off, so that the anticipation was like building and building for like the tags between Kenny and Kota Ibushi, and you know, people wanted to see them do like their signature stuff, you know,
right?
Which in the beginning part of the match you weren't really seeing too much of.
Right. At one point, I mean, they didn't tag in, but there was one point where they were both in the ring. You know how the tag rules are in New Japan. They were both in the ring. We got to see the cross slash, which is a double golden triangle moonsault.
That was cool.
They did a power bomb to a German combo.
Yeah, they did. I thought that was really cool, like really inventive. One thing I liked about this match was in the beginning how like a lot of it wasn't really Kenny interacting with Hangman or Cody. It was mostly Kota Ibushi and and Chase, and then at one point they tagged in Marty, and they're like, "Get in there, you fight Kenny.
Yeah, come on.
You're part of this match too." And like you could tell he was very hesitant. He didn't want to get in the ring. He didn't want to fight Kenny. And when they started wrestling, it was straight up scientific, just locks and holds and takeovers and headlock takedowns, things like that. And very, very, very scientific. It was good. It was like me and Rich were sitting there, and I was like, wrestling. But then it got to the point where Marty, they ended up like turning it up, and it started getting heated, and then Marty ended up at a point grabbing Kenny's fingers,
Right.
like he was gonna break it,
Right.
And Chase is like, "No." He's like, "No, Marty,
don't do it.
don't do it, Marty, don't."
And then there was also the spot where...
And he didn't do it.
He didn't do it that night. Yeah, then there was a spot where Cody led the Terminator dive spot. Like he, went in the Terminator pose, and Hangman followed him, and they were trying to get Marty to do it.
Marty wouldn't do it. Marty wasn't gonna do it, and then he got down like he was gonna do it, but then he didn't dive with them,
Right.
And then he ended up doing his own dive
His
after
super
that.
kick spot.
Yeah, super kick spot. So there was like this internal conflict between, what Marty was like wanting to do, and whose allegiance he was really with, but still like having to be a competitor and still having to go for the win. But every time him and Kota Ibushi would go at it, it was like heat. Like there was no holding back between them. They were like striking each other and stuff. So, how did this match end up like? I do remember that we got like the first in-ring contacts between Kenny and Kota, or Kenny and Cody. That was awesome.
It was very good.
Every time they interacted.
If that's any sign of what we're gonna see at Supercard of Honor, then we're in for a very good match. And the ending of this match, it was...
I know Chase took the fall.
Yeah, was it Hangman Page that got the win on Chase?
I actually don't remember. Is that terrible?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, I can't remember. All I remember...
I've got it. Let me see how this match ended up. Page in. He hits Ibushi with a Hurricane Rana on Marty. Head kick on Page. Owens went back in and hit a double clothesline on Page for 2. Page countered out of the package pile driver and hit Owens with a rebound lariat, and then he picked him up with the rite of passage and got the 1-2-3.
Right, yeah. So I figured it was
Hangman. So Hangman came out. Oh, that's right. You know what? How could we possibly forget?
That's right. The whole angle, because
the angle afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, because usually in New Japan, the guy that wins the match closes out the show. But then after the match, there was a big brawl, and then Cody ended up doing the closing promo. And then backstage, Hangman was like, "Dude, you took my moment."
Yeah. So I mean, the whole entire time, basically the story was that basically Marty was conflicted and didn't know whose side he was on and what he wanted to do, while the whole time Cody's just being a douchebag.
Right.
And just stirring stuff up between everybody. And then you have Hangman, who... I think Hangman, like I said before, he's an opportunist. So it's like, yes, he's with Cody, but I think he's just trying to make his way and make his name for himself. And, that's what it was about when he went to go challenge for the title before. And on this night, he got the big win against Chase. And so after he got the win and after the brawl and everything, Cody ended up grabbing the microphone and cutting a scathing promo on Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And he started talking about, at one point he said, he was like, Kota Ibushi is nothing more than Kenny Omega's rat.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh man, yeah.
And I was like, this storyline's weird.
Dude, this storyline is very weird, especially when we get to night 2.
And then, I thought I'd turn the sound down for this thing, but every time I get a notification on my iPad, it still makes a sound. I don't know. But, yeah, and then, freaking Don Callis being like, Kevin, what's a rat? And, Kevin didn't want to say what it was. And he's like, no, seriously, answer the question. What's a rat? He's like, you know what a rat is. And Cody ended up walking over to the table, and he was like, Kevin, you don't know what a rat is? He's like, why don't you ask your friend here, the Rat King?
Oh my my god.
But yeah, he basically said that, like, and then, I mean, the big declaration was basically that Cody said the Bullet Club is fine. And the Bullet Club is mine.
Yeah.
So he pretty much declared himself as the leader of the Bullet Club, and that he's basically saying there's not enough room for him and Kenny Omega both in the Bullet Club, and that he's the real leader.
Right, and there's not.
And I think we were wrong on this night because you said that...
I said that the Golden Lovers were going to win.
The Golden Tongans. So the Golden Tongans were going to win.
The Tongan Lovers.
The Tongan Lovers, yeah. And dang it. Anyways.
Yo, Rich, we're trying to do a podcast. Stop sending us freaking pictures of Bundle of Brittany.
What's that? What Bundle of Brittany?
Look it up, kids.
So I mean, I think you thought that the Golden Lovers were going to get, their first big win, their first night back, and have the feel-good moment.
Right.
And I guess I kind of agreed, but I just sort of thought...
No, you were kind of leaning more towards them losing.
I was, but I thought they were going to lose definitely one of the two nights. I just figured it'd probably be the second night.
Gotcha.
And so I'm pretty sure I picked wrong here too. But this match was good. It was like 4 stars.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very good. The best thing on the card by far. Is the only thing that's like really worth going out of your way to check out. So that was night one.
You go check out that Flip Gordon match too.
It was okay. I mean, it was good, but I mean, it's not anything that you haven't seen Flip Gordon do in other matches.
Right, but to people who are new.
Yeah, if you don't know Flip Gordon, you don't watch Ring of Honor, and you're a New Japan fan, you want to see that match.
Yeah. All right, so night 2 kicked off with Bear City Bruiser taking on Hinare.
Oh my god.
In this match, it was not...
This was way rougher than the Goto match.
Yeah. And we questioned whether Hinare was at the status to actually get a pinfall here. Nope.
Yes, I mean, they brought him in to do the job and let Beer City Bruiser get his win back.
Yeah, Bear City hit the frog splash on him.
That was awesome.
Squashed that man.
That was awesome.
Literally.
Yeah, as soon as he did that, I was like, game time. But they didn't even have like any like teased like spots. It was like a pretty... Yeah. I mean, it was a squash almost, like a little small extended squash.
I do not like Hanare's gimmick.
We've talked about it.
I know, I don't
like it either.
It's so obnoxious.
We've talked about it to death. Like, yeah, they need to do something different with him. This was short too. It was like only 4 minutes.
Yes.
Very, very short. I mean, nothing really. Beer City Bruiser. I don't know why Beer City Bruiser is the guy that they decided to highlight on this card when they got Silas Young and Punishment Martinez and ACH and Kenny King.
ACH is not a Ring of Honor anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, they got Kenny King. Same thing. They got.
Oh my god.
Is that messed up?
Yeah.
They're both high flyers. That's the only thing they have in common. That this is not racial.
Oh my gosh.
They are kind of similar though.
Yeah, they are.
They got Scorpio Sky. They got the Addiction. They got a lot of guys.
Motor City Machine Guns.
I mean, I don't know why it was Beer City Bruiser. I mean, I kind of talked about how good he is and stuff, but I mean, they really highlighted him on these 2 cards, and we'll get onto that more. But yeah, they gave him a big win here. He squashed Hinare. It is what it is. He was spitting all over the crowd again, pissing me off.
Cheap cigar.
Oh my god. All right.
All right, yeah. Next up, we had Finley, Juice, and Jay Lethal taking on the Bullet Club team of Hikuleo, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi.
Yeah, so I think I was surprised here because I think I picked the Bullet Club just because it was Finley, and yeah, it was Finley.
Yeah, I mean, usually when David Finley's on your team, that's an automatic L. That's like when you hit simulate in the SmackDown games. Like you hit simulate with David Finley, it's an automatic L. But I kind of figured, like, once I got done watching night 1, I figured they were gonna win because you can't bring Jay Lethal to Japan and job him out twice.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, but it was multi-man matches, so I didn't think... I mean, obviously he's not going to take the pinfall. He's a protected guy. But, yeah, I mean, this match was nothing really special either. I mean, it was a match. It happened. Bullet Club, attacked them before the bell. It was kind of a schmoz of a match.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really special here.
I think a lot of the time it was just like they kept teasing that Jay Lethal was going to hit the
Lethal Injection. And I believe he got the one with the Hail to the King, right?
Yeah, he did. So yeah, basically like Finlay hit Hikuleo with the stunner, and then he like stayed standing. He got hit with the pulp friction, and then he got hit with
Hail to the King, which is an elbow drop,
which is nice because I don't think Jay Lethal gets a lot of victories off that move.
Right,
it's kind of just a signature
near false finish move.
Yeah, but it was enough to put that young boy down.
Next up, we had the LIJ team of Bushi and Takahashi taking on the coach Taguchi and Flip Gordon.
Yeah, so this was good. I predicted this one, right? I don't remember what you predicted.
I was pretty sure I was on the Flip bandwagon.
Did you?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I predicted Flip winning.
Yeah, I predicted Hiromu and Bushi just because
they work so good together.
Yeah, that's what you said on the last show too. But no, I mean that is true. But the main reason is just because I think the junior tag division needs more challengers. And you know what? I wish I would have thought more about this, because if I thought Takahashi was going to win tonight or that night, I would have probably predicted that Flip would have won the night before. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, I didn't even put 2 to 2 together. They were in the same match, back to back.
We should have thought about that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think Flip was going to get 2 wins in a row in Japan. I didn't even think he was going to get the first win, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, this was fun. I mean, it was just a sprint of a match. You know, but like 4 juniors. Well, you know, I don't even know if Taguchi's still a junior at this point.
I think he is.
He is, but I mean, like, he's in that Tai Chi stats. He really shouldn't be.
Right. Again, you know, awesome moves from all these guys, especially Flip. Takahashi got his win back here on Flip, and they had like a little stare off after the match. So, like I mentioned earlier, I believe we're gonna get a Takahashi Flip Gordon rivalry this year.
I really like that Doomsday MX that they did.
Oh yeah, that was tight.
That's a really cool move. I like that a lot for them as their finisher. So that was really, really cool. So yeah, this was very good. Just, you know, everyone was really motivated and they were sprinting and just doing dives and flipping, and good match, really good match. And I mean, it kind of heats up Bushi and Hiromu to move forward in the junior division in the meantime. So that's good.
Yeah. Then next up, we had the Ring of Honor 6-man tag champs, the Young Bucks and Hangman Page, taking on Chucky T, Yoshihashi, and Jay White.
I don't think that was the next match.
Oh, my bad. I skipped the Never Openweight 6-man tag championship match. The Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, and the Underboss Bad Luck Fale defending their titles against Cheeseburger, Delirious, and Jushin Thunder Liger.
This was like a 9-minute match, and I was marking really hard for it. I don't know, man. I like Cheeseburger in these like multi-man, like these 6-man tags that he does in Japan. I like them, bro. I'm sure like a wrestling purist like watches these matches and would like scoff at it and think it was terrible, but I thought it was really entertaining. I mean, it wasn't anything that we haven't seen from from Bullet Club and from, you know, the OG Bullet Club and all that, but this was really good, I thought.
Yeah, it was a very good match, very entertaining.
I wish Delirious put some shoes on though.
Right, hilarious. Anytime Cheeseburger was in there trying to get offense on these guys, and like,
especially, oh my god, him and Fale, I was dying, dude. Every time he would interact with Fale, just like, because he was trying to hurt Fale, and Fale just like, just no selling everything, and like the dichotomy between like the size difference in those guys was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy how that Cheeseburger is a professional wrestler.
Yeah, how is he a professional wrestler? Like, who looked at this guy and was like, this kid's money?
Well, he went to the ROH dojo.
I know he did, but still. I mean,
he's over though.
How many people do you know that's like have gone to dojos and like trained to be a wrestler, and like they're not obviously wrestling and things like that, and this kid's over in like Tokyo, Japan, like living his dream. Like, he's a superstar, bro.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. He's like the tiniest wrestler ever. Like, I remember a time when I thought, like, 1-2-3 Kid was, like, the puniest guy I ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, Cheeseburger's way smaller than that.
Yeah, dude. I'm surprised he doesn't break in half after taking bumps.
How? What do you think he weighs?
Like 120, 125.
Yeah, bro.
Soaking wet.
He's small, man. It's
like,
crazy.
I mean, dude, we're bigger than him. Though, like,
I'm bigger than a lot of wrestlers. What are you talking about? I'm ready for a run, brother.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so basically, I think Delirious took the. Oh yeah, Cheeseburger got finished with the Tongan twist, which I found out that is what they call that move, the Tongan twist.
No, the Tongan twist is Tama Tonga's finisher. That's the guerrilla warfare.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, you're right. So they hit him with the guerrilla warfare, put him down 1-2-3.
Yeah.
And that we got the end of the run of Team Fun. And, these guys have held on to these never open weight tag titles for a little while now. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, these titles change hands a lot.
Very quickly, yeah.
They haven't really defended against anyone that could, like, reasonably take it from them, I suppose.
Right, and we mentioned that last week. Like, this team was not a serious threat. Like, if they had thrown out, like, machine guns and, like, Jay Lethal, I would have been like, maybe they could win.
Yeah. But...
Or, heck, what SoCal Uncensored, the team of Daniels, Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky.
Kingdom,
yeah.
Yeah, like, where's Matt Taven? Why wasn't he on this show?
Right.
But anyway, so, yeah, that's what we got there. Nice little fun match. It probably wasn't the best match on the show. Definitely wasn't, but I don't know. I really like this match.
Yeah. So, now we have the Hung Bucks against Chaos. Hung Bucks, like I mentioned, the ROH 6-man champions. The titles were not on the line on this match. I don't know why they were not. But the Hung Bucks, they work really well together in this match.
Yeah, so I mean, there was nothing that was like crazy in this match. I mean, it was just kind of an all-action, multi-man New Japan match. Everybody got their stuff in. Everyone was kind of firing on all cylinders. It was like by the numbers, like, what you usually see with the New Japan multi-man match. But I think the big story here was the continuing feud between Hangman Page and Jay White, and him kind of pursuing the U.S. title.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty much, heating up Hangman Page for Long Beach, getting him ready for the number one contendership.
Yeah, I mean, so, there was a lot of, like, false finishes and different spots and a lot of saves. Towards the end, it got to a point where Hangman Page was caught in the... What is it called? Oh, my God. I keep forgetting Jay White's finisher. I want to call it the Twist of Fate.
The Blade Runner.
He should call it the Twist of Fate.
Yeah, because nobody uses that name.
The Blade Runner is a stupid name. I like the way he does that move much better than Bray Wyatt does, but I don't like the name of it. But anyways, he hits him with the Blade Runner. Also, when I think of Blade Runners, I think
the movie.
No, I love that movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. But no, in wrestling terms, I think of Warrior and Sting.
Oh yeah. The Blade Runners. Yeah.
That's the first thing that pops in my mind. I think of Power Team USA. But anyway, so yeah, he caught him in the Blade Runner, and then the Young Bucks ended up making the save. They hit him with the super kick, and he eventually got caught into the
left or the
rite of passage.
The rite of passage.
Yeah, and he got hit with the rite of passage, and I was like, wow, that's game time. I did not think that Jay White was taking a pinfall in this multi-man match. I think we did pick. Who did we pick to win this match?
I think we picked the Hung Bucks. But I think we were saying maybe Yoshihashi or Chucky T would have been pinned.
Yeah, so I mean, this was also very strange too. Like seeing Chuck Taylor and like Yoshihashi and Jay White all team together. It's like, this is not chaos.
Right, yeah.
Even though it is,
it's
like
not.
Watching them, like those are like three of the most different guys that they could possibly put together. It's a very weird pairing, but I mean they had a decent match, but yeah. So essentially, Hangman Page gets the win, and then he starts to go on an attack, like he's going to attack Jay White.
Right, and the Young Bucks stop him. They pull a chair out of his hands, said he doesn't need to do it. He's like, yeah, you're right. Young Bucks leave. Hangman gets another chair, and drops Jay, gives the rights. What is it? The right to pass, rite of passage onto Jay White on a chair.
Yeah. So, and what the Young Bucks had left at that moment, right?
Yeah, they were gone.
So, I mean, that really kind of, again, forged like this inner dissension between, the Bucks and the other members of, the Bullet Club, basically.
Right.
Kind of showing like that there's a difference in opinion and a difference in like philosophy.
Right. The Young Bucks are leaning more towards Kenny's philosophy of just wanting to prove that
they're the best
wrestlers in the world, while Hangman Page falls at the old school Bullet Club mentality.
Well, I think the thing is he's going to do whatever it takes to be the best, to win. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that means taking a mofo out with a chair, then that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, I mean, yeah, but it was very interesting because I don't think we've seen any tension between Hangman and the Bucks before.
No, we haven't.
I'm guessing those 6-man tag titles are coming off them very soon.
Yeah.
Like, probably in the next show or so.
Maybe I'm not sure what the anniversary, Ring of Honor anniversary lineup is looking like.
I don't know what their schedule's like. I mean, they could lose it on TV. I mean, pretty soon they're definitely dropping those belts.
I think they're defending against SoCal Uncensored actually at the anniversary.
Then they're losing those titles.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So next up, we had the Ring of Honor World Championship being defended. Originally, it was defended. It was supposed to be Dalton Castle defending against Beretta.
Who were the boys?
I don't know. One of them kind of looked like Taguchi a little bit. I wasn't sure who the boys were. But yeah, so it was supposed to be just Dalton Castle versus Beretta 1-on-1, but Bear City Bruiser came out and said that he wanted to be part of this matchup, and we found out the reason for this.
I think he started like attacking Dalton Castle. They started like brawling.
Well, he grabbed the mic first and said he wanted to be in the match, and then he attacked Castle.
And then basically, like, Dalton Castle's like, if that's what it takes, we'll make this a 3-way right now.
Being a dumb baby face and interjecting another challenger in your title match.
But in all reality, what was really going on here is that Trent Beretta's hurt.
Right, like we mentioned earlier, he has a torn bicep, same injury as Tana, and he also has a torn pec.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out for a long time, and they didn't even really want him wrestling in this match whatsoever, but he was there. He wanted to fulfill the match. He wanted to be in it. So he really didn't do much in this match at all. It was really mainly like Castle and Bruiser.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't paying a ton of attention to this match, but I don't know. It seemed like Trent. I mean, I don't know. Trent is good at hiding his injuries. Like the stuff he was doing, he didn't come off like he was super hurt to me.
Right. I mean, he's always like the babyface in peril.
Yeah.
In these matches, and takes a lot of punishment.
But I mean, I saw him like hitting like running knee strikes and pile drivers and top rope stuff.
The springboard tornado DDT.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty amazing that this guy's like wrestling so hurt. And apparently he has to be pretty hurt from what people are saying to where they like didn't have enough faith in him to even compete on his own. They needed to have a buffer there, and they brought in the freaking Beer City Bruiser.
But dude, why didn't they freaking put like Jay Lethal, like have Jay Lethal come out?
Well, Jay Lethal
on commentary.
Yeah, he was on commentary. Plus, they've got a match coming up.
Right, he's already has a title match coming up at the Ring of Honor anniversary show.
So with that being said, this match eventually what ended up happening was, Dalton Castle ended up hitting a bridging German on Beer City Bruiser and got the 1-2-3.
All right, too big to get him up for the Bangarang.
Yeah, the only thing here with Trent put on a really good babyface performance. He was, the babyface in peril like we talked about. This was not. I thought this match. I didn't think it was gonna be blowaway, but I thought it would be like good, like considering the talent that was in it. And I was hoping it'd be something where we'd get to kind of showcase Trent on a higher level, but he was so hurt it didn't end up being all that. But I mean, it was okay. It was like a three and I don't know, like a quarter star match, I guess.
Right. And with Trent being hurt, that puts the WrestleCon match in jeopardy with the Golden Lovers versus Best Friends.
Yeah, so that's the match that we're anticipating getting for WrestleCon. They made the announcement the other week on Valentine's Day that was going to be Golden Lovers versus Best Friends, WrestleCon Super Show. And yesterday, Trent sent out a tweet, and he's like, I'm hurt, I'm injured, I'm going home, taking some time off. You're not going to see me for a while. So I don't know if it's just if he's kayfabing us or if he is like legit hurt. I mean, that show is like 5 weeks away. So it's, I mean, I guess hypothetically, depending on how bad he's hurt, he could compete.
Right.
But I am wondering if we're going to be getting that match or not. And if we're not, who will the Golden Lovers wrestle?
Very interesting to find that out. So,
I mean, I took a look at the WrestleCon list of superstars. I've compiled a list of different people that could like replace them. Demolition will be there. That's one. Harlem Heat will be there. They could wrestle Harlem Heat. The Rock and Roll Express, another legendary tag team, they will be there. There's gonna be several options. The Steiner brothers will be there.
oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, they've got some other options. Or, you know, New Japan could just sack up and let them wrestle the Lucha Brothers like we wanted in the first place.
Right. This is a sign.
Dude, who's gonna watch WrestleCon Super Show? Like, I mean, let's I don't know, let's say 1,000 people are there in the crowd. Probably not even that many. Let's say 800 people are gonna be there in the crowd. How many people are really watching this on iPay-per-view? A few hundred? How many people are gonna buy it on DVD? Like, I don't know. Like, is this going to be all over the internet? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know why they're afraid to have that match happen, because it's not like this is some big event. It's 1,000 people in life might ever see this match. So I'm not really sure why they put the veto on that, you know, having them wrestle those guys just 'cause they're from Crash.
Right.
Especially since New Japan guys wrestle guys from Crash all the time in PWG. It happens all the time. So I don't know. And, like, you know, it's not like the Bucks haven't ever gone to wrestle for Crash. You know?
Exactly.
So it's really weird. I don't know.
Well, now we have the main event. It was the Golden Lovers taking on Marty Scurll and Cody. First regular tag match with the Golden Lovers together again. And, man, the crowd popped big when they got that first tag in.
This match was very good. Like, really, really, really good. One of the best matches of February, for sure.
Yeah.
I thought the very beginning of the match was very interesting. How Marty kind of came out and he started talking to Kenny, and he told Kenny, he was like, you know, he's like, this beef is between you and Cody. That has nothing to do with
I'm
me.
not choosing sides, but what's this with you and Coda? Like, we're supposed to be a team, Kenny.
Yeah, he's like, you and me are a team. And then he's like, I haven't chosen sides, but you've clearly chosen him.
Right.
He's like, you chose him. You hurt the Bullet Club. Right. He's like, what's that about? And I like this storytelling because it's very Hogan-esque. I'd be pissed too if I was in the Bullet Club and Kenny went back to team with, like, I mean, just think about that. Like, in what world, like, how are they part of the Bullet Club if Kenny is teaming with someone who's not part of the Bullet Club? Like, and he's supposed to be the leader. How does that work?
Right, and now he's rocking Golden Lover shirts.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, so, and then he told Marty, he's like, I've known him for 10 years. And he's like, we're supposed to be a team. He's like, you left me behind.
Right.
He's like, what do you expect? So this was interesting because after that, we saw a whole different side to the interactions between Kenny
and Marty.
Dude, so hard to call Kenny, Cody, and Kota Ibushi. Their names all start like with the same
syllable, yeah. Enunciation.
Enunciation. I don't know what the word is, but freaking A. But yeah, the striking exchanges and everything that they were doing on this night, it was not scientific. They were like, they had bad intentions the whole night.
And you know, in the first night we mentioned that Marty was hesitant to breaking Kenny's fingers. Not on this night. He broke Kenny's fingers. I
had someone who doesn't watch wrestling watch that with me, and when she saw that happen, she's like, she was like, what just happened? She's like, did he just break his fingers? And I have no idea how Marty Scurll makes that sound. I don't know how he can do it.
It's funny. I actually saw this match 3 times, actually.
Why did you watch this match 3 times?
Because I watched it the first time, and then I showed it to my brother. And then I watched it the 3rd time at my house when you and Rich came over.
Oh, yeah, we did watch it the 3rd time. I fell asleep. I was tired. The match was really good though.
I showed it to my brother, and the finger break spot. He's like, "He just break his fingers?" And I kayfabed him. I was like, "Yeah, he really broke his fingers."
Yeah, I mean that's one of the craziest things that I don't know how he makes the sound. There's a lot of things I can explain away in wrestling, but I don't know how he makes that sound.
He really breaks their fingers, Josh.
I've like, even right now, you guys can't see me, but I'm trying to make the noise, but I can't. So it sucks.
And then one of the big spots in this match was
The dive.
What are you talking about?
When Kenny dove onto Cody out into the crowd early in the match.
That's not what I was going to say, but that was an interesting spot. Yeah, Cody, he took a powder and he went and sat in the crowd, kicked people out of their seats and sat in the crowd, and then Kenny did a springboard dive onto Cody that was sitting in the crowd. Of course, once again, we saw the cross slash, the double golden triangle. But the big spot I was going to talk about was Cody kissing Kota Ibushi.
Oh yeah, that was so he was like, "Get him up," and he's like, "I'm gonna kiss him.
I'm gonna steal a kiss.
I'm gonna steal a kiss." And like
Marty's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. So that was kind of weird, and then he kissed him.
And then Don Callis was like, "Kevin, you ever kiss a man?" He's like, "No. Why not?"
There was one part where he was like, where Kevin Kelly was like to Don Callis, he was like, Kenny's like family to you, right? He's like a son to me. He's like, what about Kota Ibushi? And he's like, he's family or something like that. And he's like, he's so talented, he's handsome, He's like, so basically you want to make money off of him. He's like, I don't think in those terms.
Yeah, he's like, you see him as an investment.
Oh yeah, you see him as an investment. He's like, I don't think in those terms. When did Cody have that giant botch? Was that night 1 or night 2?
I think it was this match. It was night 2.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, it was this match. So Cody went up and did his like run up the ropes and dive out spot that he does, and he dove to the outside of the ring, but he messed up, man, and he hit the apron with his legs.
It looked like he was going for like a double springboard.
He slipped.
Yeah.
Or something, and I mean he hit the freaking apron.
His shins hit the hardest part of the ring.
It was scary, actually.
Yeah, it was.
And then Marty ran up and he checked on me. He's like, he's okay.
And then eventually Cody got up and it was just like fine. He was like.
But yeah, this match had a lot of like very, very like interesting offense. You saw a lot of like, I saw a lot of stuff from like the Golden Lovers that I've never seen before. A lot of their double team spots.
The electric chair into like Kenny had Marty an electric chair, threw him off, and Kota kicked him.
I actually think that spot's cool, but they didn't do it well. Like the kick, he didn't hit him good with the kick because I think Marty's like leg was in the way, so that was weird. Also, the first night they kept teasing that they were gonna hit the
golden trigger,
the double knee, and they didn't hit it the first night. So then that was kind of what this match was built around, was them doing that. Another thing that I thought was really cool was when Marty, I don't remember who he put up, but he put someone up for an electric chair drop, and then
Cody did the drop kick.
Yeah, Cody did the drop kick, so like a doomsday drop kick device.
Well, they did the doomsday drop kick first to Kenny, and then later they did Dakota, but Kota landed on his feet.
That's right. That was awesome. So there was a lot of action in this match. Eventually, I do remember that Kota played Ricky Morton for a big portion of the match, and then Kenny eventually got the hot tag. It was running wild on all the Bull Club, all the Elite,
right.
And then at one point Marty ended up getting the upper hand, and he hit him with the. He ended up getting the chicken wing on Kenny.
Yeah, he had it locked in pretty tight.
He had it locked in.
And then Cody locked Kota in his Indian Deathlock thing.
Towards the end, though, one thing I thought was very interesting was Kenny got thrown into the ring, and he got countered, and then he got put into the crossroads by Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
Marty Scurll hit him with Cody's finishing move and got a near fall, like a really, really close near fall. So I was like, wow.
And then the commentary was like, it wasn't as effective if Cody would have done it.
But yeah, so eventually, though, they ended up double teaming Marty Scurll. And then, they ended up setting him up for the double knee trigger, and they hit him with the golden V trigger or the golden trigger. The golden trigger.
Oh man.
And the double knee strike, and I mean, it looked really vicious. Actually, I actually felt bad for Marty.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, like I know it's, I know it's wrestling and I know it's like scripted and stuff, but like I watch Being the Elite, I see like the team that these guys have had, and in the storyline, like Marty never wanted this to even happen, and then he kind of got dragged into it, and he ended up eating that like vicious double knee for no reason. Like he didn't do nothing,
right?
And they laid him out, and when his sell job as he was walking out of the ring with holding both ice bags and just looking dejected and upset and frustrated, it was actually like really good. I really bought into that story.
Yeah, and so then the post-match, Kenny was cutting a promo, and then out come the Young Bucks.
Yeah, so they, Kenny started cutting a promo. He said that he felt like he had peaked in New Japan at one point and there's nothing for him left to do, and then the opportunity came for him to fulfill this dream to reteam with Kota Ibushi and show the world what they're capable of.
And he said that they are the best tag team in the world, which cued the Young Bucks to come out. And he said, you guys...
They came out immediately.
Yeah, you guys came to us in room 710. We made the peace treaty. Like, we were fine. But now we just heard what you said, that you're the best tag team in the world. It's like, no. The Young Bucks are the best tag teams in the world. And we're here to announce that my brother and I, we are going up to the heavyweight tag division. And so I guess we'll see you guys around, and throws the mic back at his chest.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Like that was like the shocking news to like close out the show. Night one we got the angle where Cody eventually came out and was pronounced himself as the leader of the Bullet Club and kind of moved that storyline forward. But then going into night two with the big win from the Golden Lovers, we got the dream match stare down between them and the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks are 206 pounds now, brother. They're heavyweights. So we've talked about this for a few weeks now on the show, anticipating their move up to heavyweight, and it's now official, and it appears that we are going to be getting a match between these guys. And so this was a great like cap to night two. I didn't think these On a Rising shows were anything blow away. We kind of talked about that these were good cards, and I mean, there's nothing bad on them, but these two main events were both blow away, and I thought this main event was like really good. It's like 4.5, 4.25. One of the best tag matches of February.
Yeah, really good. Really great match. Definitely a candidate for the February match of the month, which we will announce next week on next week's show. So next we want to talk about Being the Elite. There were 2 episodes of Being the Elite that have come out since we last recorded. The first one, they were in Australia, and we finally saw the OG Bullet Club, and kind of what their positioning was in this whole storyline. And the Young Bucks pretty much were trying to like offer a peace offering between themselves. And
it was interesting how the like show started, where when they were in the airport, how when they finally ran into Kenny, and like Kenny was trying to avoid them.
No, it was Cody. Cody was trying to get them to avoid Kenny.
No, at first though. Do you remember? So this was after they hadn't seen each other since the attack during New Beginning.
Right.
And so they ran into, at first, Cody was trying to keep them from running into him at the airport.
Right.
But then they eventually ran into Kenny Omega, and every time they were going one direction, Kenny would be going the other direction. He'd be acting like he like didn't see them.
Was that this episode?
Or was that the episode before?
That was like the episode before.
Oh, was it?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I think so. This one, I think like Kenny was just in the airport, like talking. He was like talking to somebody, and, and the Young Bucks were like, I think our flight's this way, and Cody's like, no, our flight's this way.
Yeah, Kenny or Cody did do that, but then later on they kept running into Kenny, and Kenny was like avoiding them.
I don't think that was this episode.
It was this episode. Okay. Because what happened on the episode before that? We watched that episode.
I'm blanking right now. They're all like blurring together.
Okay. Well, anyways, so they're in Australia, and Cody's like off with the Young Bucks doing things, and Kenny's on his own, and so they're all just like, you can see that Cody's just like manipulating them to keep them like all apart from one another. But then like Cody was just like feeding into to everybody's like what was he saying to like the Bucks, then what was he saying to like Marty Scurll and all that?
Yeah, so like he was telling the Young Bucks, he was like, you guys are looking jacked. You guys need to go up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
And then for Marty was like, Villain Club's the hottest selling shirt. Like, don't just be a shirt. Like, start your own Villain Club.
Yeah, I liked how he told he told the Young Bucks, he was like, you guys are looking jacked. How much do you guys weigh right now? You must be at least 206 pounds.
Yeah. He's like, you guys aren't juniors. Marty's a junior. He buys his clothes at Baby Gap.
He's like, you guys are way bigger than him. I mean, you guys are at least 206 pounds, which is obviously a playoff of like 205 live.
Yeah.
So like telling them like they're just above the limit, like they gotta obviously be heavyweights at this point. And then when he started, I liked when he went up to Marty and he was like, Marty, what is that you're wearing on your? He's like, it's my bow tie. He's like, what does it say? He's like, oh, it says Villain. My mom sewed it on. And he starts telling him essentially, not to just make the Villain Club a shirt,
a gimmick, like make it like a real Sable.
Yeah, so he's telling like Marty to go off and like to recruit and focus on himself and focus on the Villain Club. He's telling the Young Bucks to go off and kind of focus on themselves. And then, which was very strange, and the stuff with Hangman. So you can kind of just see that like Cody is just like sowing discord amongst everybody. And then eventually we got to the scene where they're in Australia at one of the shows, and the OG Bullet Club's there. So you've got like Tama, Tangaroa, Fale was there,
Takahashi,
Juicy Gambino.
Yep. Told you.
Apparently Juicy Gambino is sometimes part of the Bullet.
Chase Owens
was there, and they basically the Young Bucks met up with Tama, who Tama is just looking like a pimp.
Dude, I wish I had like half the swag that Tama had.
And they're just talking about like, they're like, we understand that, we can't always be together, and that, you guys are over here holding things down in Japan, representing the Bullet Club, doing your own channel, doing your own thing. They're like, but we're just doing the same thing. That's what we're doing in America too. We represent the Bullet Club, and they're like, we just want you to know there's no beef between us, and that, this beef is just between two individuals, Kenny and Cody, and it has nothing to do with the rest of us. And they're like, we want to know if we're fine. Tama's like, hey, the Bullet Club's fine. Give me a too sweet.
He's like, you know we can't do that.
They're like, yeah, we don't do that anymore, but we'll pound it out. So they pound it out, and then in that moment, like, Kenny shows up, and he's like, what's going on?
Didn't Cody come first?
No, I'm pretty sure Kenny showed up first, because when Cody showed up, Kenny's like, oh, here he comes, the three-star savior. And then, Cody's like, what's going on? He's like, you guys called a meeting. How can you call a meeting without the leader of the Bullet Club? He's like, only the leader can call a meeting.
Right.
And, so then, like, Kenny and Cody just get into a shouting match. Everyone is just, like bewildered at what's going on. And they just start going at it. And then the next thing you know, like, Cody picks up a chair. Slow music hits.
Slow, dramatic, yeah.
And everyone is just like, and then you just see the Young Bucks standing there, like, almost like crying, just like trying to like keep everybody
and
apart.
Like Tango Loa was also in the middle too. And then Tama Tonga just chilling in the back.
Tama never stood up. He just sat there the whole time, which I thought was like a brilliant piece of like storytelling, because his position on the whole thing, like, he doesn't care. Right. Like, he's gonna be Tama. He's gonna do what Tama does, and like, he's just waiting to see what these guys do. But the interesting thing was, as the episode was ending, you saw where a trash can was coming towards Nick, and then the show ended. Also, we ended up getting another vision from Nick Jackson,
right,
where on the vision, he like blacked out and he saw the road, and on the road there was a sign that said Long Beach. One thing that I noticed, and I didn't see a lot of people talking about this, but I rewatched this twice because when it said Long Beach, I was like, there's got to be more to this. And once I slowed it down and I froze it, you can see that they're on Highway 710. Which I was like, there we go. Mm-hmm. And when I started like piecing it together, also like I think on that was the same episode where Cody had told Matt, he was like, did you see that documentary with Kenny?
Yeah.
And he was like, did you see where he said that the Young Bucks are the best junior tag team in the world? And he's like, he said that?
You saw he said junior?
He was like, he said junior like as a descriptor for us. And he was like, I mean, I don't think he meant it like derogatorily. He was just saying that you guys are small. So that's what happened on that first episode, and I just want you guys to know. I mean, we can talk about it right now since we're already like on the subject. So night 2 of Honor Rising, we got basically the call out almost essentially from the Young Bucks. But prior to that happening, and I'm gonna what day is it today? It's the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be hearing this on the 27th.
February 21st. In our group, after watching this episode, I on record told everybody, I said we will be getting the Young Bucks versus the Golden Lovers at Strong Style Evolved. Strong Style Evolved. Ugh. And I was like, I want everybody to know that I made this prediction right now. This is happening. And it was because of this episode. Because once I saw that there was tension between the Bucks and Kenny had thrown down Matt at New Beginning. And then they hadn't been talking and that sort of thing. And then at the end of that episode, when that trash can was coming towards Nick's face, it was clearly coming from Kenny.
Right.
I thought that they're going to play more into that. They didn't really follow up with it, but that plus he saw the vision, and in the vision, they're on Highway 710,
as in room 710.
As in room 710, and it shows Long Beach. I was like, oh man, we're getting the Young Bucks versus. After watching this show and seeing how they built the visions to the future match between Cody and Kenny for so long, I knew that this vision had to be leading. If it says Long Beach, it had to be leading to a match with the Young Bucks, and that was the match that had to be made. And by the time that you're hearing this, obviously this match has already been made, and anyone can go back and just claim that they predicted it. I wish that we'd seen that episode for the last week's episode, so I could have made this prediction on the air.
Right, but I'm going to take a screenshot of Josh's prediction from the group thread and post it on our Twitter at KI Strong Style, so you guys can see that once again the young boy has the vision.
So then we got the newest episode. It was called Heavyweights.
Right, and this was pretty much building to the Honor Rising show closing promo.
This was an interesting episode because it had literally we're traveling and doing this and doing that. It was all storyline.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else happened in that episode.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess they did talk about the travel a little bit because they were talking about how they traveled from.
They're just traveling from Australia.
They went home and then they came back to Japan and they were going to do the Honor Rising shows. But essentially, the big part of it was that they came into the dressing room. They wanted to talk to Kenny and Kota Ibushi.
Right.
Literally a few moments before their match started, and they're like, "Kenny, we need to talk to you in private. Can you sit down and talk to us?" And he's like, "Guys, I got a match. I'm about to go to a match, and seriously, we need to talk to you right now." And then he was like, "Okay." And then Kota's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go."
Yeah, they're calling us.
And then so then they were pissed because he didn't have time to sit with them. But I mean, come on, they could have picked a better time to talk to this dude.
Where were they the whole rest of the show?
Yeah, they're not in the dressing room together, but whatever. So they get offended, and then once he goes out to the match, all right, well, he's gonna find out soon enough. And then obviously they do the match. Marty gets the golden trigger, and then Kenny's out there cutting a promo about how they're the best tag team in the world.
And then you see it backstage.
Cody.
Yeah,
Cody's in their ear, and he's like, "Do you hear what he just said?" No, he's saying that they're the best tag team in the world. You guys aren't going to let him say that, right? You're not going to let him stand for this. And so then they're like, all right.
Let's do this, yeah. He's like, go handle this.
They go out there. They do their promo. We already covered it. So then they come back, and they're backstage, and Kenny's like, what was that?
Yeah.
And they're
like, why couldn't we talk about this back here?
Yeah.
We try to talk to you.
And he's like, you tried to talk to me right before my match? Are you kidding me? And he's like, what about all the calls? I've been trying to call you guys. And you haven't been answering. And we've seen on other episodes where
Cody declined the call.
Cody's declining their calls and trying to run interference. So basically, though, they were like, you know what? This is bullcrap. Kenny, all these years, it's always been about you. It hasn't been about the Bullet Club. It hasn't been about the Young Bucks. It's been about Kenny Omega.
Right. He's like, we've seconded every one of your big matches. When have you ever seconded one of our matches?
Yeah, like when did you ever come out to second us to a match? And they're like, we were there for the Okada trilogy. We were there for Long Beach. They're like, when you lost, who carried you? When you won, who celebrated with you? And let me ask you, where was he all this time?
Right.
And, he says, well, I've known Coda for 10 years. They're like, you've known us for 10 years. And basically they're like, we have to fight. That's what's going to have to happen. Now, earlier today I was reading the translation because they cut the rest of the promo after the Young Bucks walked out and said, hey, we're going to do this for ourselves because it's time that the Bucks start thinking about themselves, doing something selfish for themselves.
Right.
Kenny started speaking in Japanese, and then so did Kota Ibushi. And I read somewhere where someone translated it, and Kota Ibushi's like, what was that all about? And he was like, there's nothing more that we can do. We're going to have to fight them. And that's it. That's what happened on Being the Elite.
Yeah. And so we had a lot of questions that come in surrounding, this whole Bullet Club storyline. Question from Tom. He says, how will the Young Bucks moving up impact the tag divisions, the junior and heavyweight divisions? Well, them leaving the junior division, that's gonna open up a big hole in that junior tag division. There already aren't that many teams there. So like you mentioned earlier, that's why Takahashi and Bushi, when they're probably gonna step in there for a little bit. They're gonna have to bring in some more junior teams.
Yeah, so there's nothing more that they really could even do in the junior tag division.
They're already 7-time tag champs.
Yeah, and they were kind of there during like a golden era when you had Red Dragon, the Time Splitters, Roppongi Vice, and all these different teams. And a lot of those teams are kind of gone and moved on and done other things at this point. And the Young Bucks have been competing with heavyweight tag teams everywhere except in New Japan.
Right. Ring of Honor, PWG, all over the place.
Yeah, so internationally, like that's what they do, and it's gotten to a point where it's like, well, what more can they do from a storyline perspective with these guys in the junior tag division, unless we want to keep watching them wrestle, which I have no problem watching them wrestle Roppongi 3K.
Right.
Run it back, let's do it, but that's not the direction they're going, and at this point, the heavyweight tag division, we talk about how bad it's been for so long. I don't see any way that this doesn't significantly strengthen the heavyweight tag division.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll get the Young Bucks in the World Tag League this year. That's going to be great.
I love probably one of my two all-time favorite tag teams. Contrary, I know that I always get into beefs with Rich about how much I love Legion of Doom, but it's just because they're the best and everybody knows it. And if you don't agree with that, you suck, whatever. But in all actuality, from an in-ring standpoint, my favorite tag teams are the Rockers and Midnight Express, and the Young Bucks getting to wrestle the heavyweights in New Japan just so much reminds me of the Rockers late 80s, early 90s run where they were wrestling Powers of Pain and Warlord and all those guys, just the Twin Towers. And I think that's kind of the sort of situation we're going to see with the Young Bucks coming in. They're going to be wrestling can you imagine them wrestling Killer Elite Squad?
Oh man, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be, this is kind of like what we were talking about. We've been saying let's just merge the junior and heavyweight tag divisions. Well, at least we're getting the Young Bucks now in the heavyweight tag division. Especially, we lost War Machine to the E.
Yeah.
So having the Young Bucks there it's going to be a great thing for this division.
Especially since it seems like they're leaning more towards being faces, and they kind of have to be if they're going to go to the heavyweight, because they got to get sympathy because of their size. They could be sniveling heels, but they're almost so small. Let's not make any bones about it. They're small. they're really small. Like they truly are. But I mean, seeing them go up against like the tag teams, like I mean, I'm sure we're gonna see them going up against like Ishii and like Yano and
Evil and Sonata,
LIJ and these different tag teams that they have. I'm sure we're gonna see them going up against Tenkozy, that sort of thing. So I mean, I'm very excited for it. I think that. Not to say that like the junior tag division's in a healthy spot. I don't think any tag division in New Japan's ever like in a great spot, but they've got enough guys to where they can kind of keep things rolling in the junior division. They don't necessarily need the Young Bucks to propel that, but I mean, that's awesome seeing. Like, I can't wait for them to have a IWGP heavyweight tag run.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Question from Rance. He says, what does Kenny being put back with Kota mean for his future as a singles top guy?
Well, we can kind of make mention of this. So, you know, the New Japan Cup brackets have come out. We're going to talk about them a little bit later here, but one huge key notable omission is Kenny Omega is not going to be in the New Japan Cup this year. And you kind of you read those statements he made with Tokyo Sports, right?
Right. Let me see if I could. I still have that on my phone.
Well, he essentially...
I have it here. So Kenny says, I don't want to disappoint the fans. I think there's a battle that I must focus on first. I have to prepare to fight with my friends. In the Bullet Club, where Kenny resigned as the leader, the announcements arose not long after Cody Rhodes joined the faction, and with Golden Lovers being revived, the internal Bullet Club conflict involving other members continues. In addition to Golden Lovers' confrontation with the Young Bucks at Strong Style Evolved on March 25th, Kenny Omega vs. Cody fight at Super Card of Honor on April 7th in New Orleans. Let's see. Kenny says, of course, it's not that I don't want to challenge for a singles belt, but it's because Bullet Club's problems has to be solved first. For now, I have to put off the chance of a championship challenge, including the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and give priority to the battle in the Bullet Club.
So, I mean, essentially at this point, what Kenny is basically saying is that right now, he can't divide his attention between trying to be the champion of New Japan and trying to be the leader of the Bullet Club or settle the dispute that he has between himself and Cody, and the issue that, you know, focusing on his teammate and his, you know, the future of his team as part of a member of the Golden Lovers right now, basically. I don't see Kenny being a singles guy right now.
Right. And we had another question that just came in on Reddit from the user Gentle Manly Dragon, and he asks, does Omega ever become the IWGP champion, or never gets it, leaves the company?
So his question, he says, my question refers to whether you think it will happen and if you two personally want it to happen. I also wanted to say I just discovered your show about 2 weeks ago, but I'm already a fan, looking forward to this week's episode. Nice, man. Who was that?
Gentlemanly Dragon.
Gentlemanly Dragon. I'm getting like a man crush right now. Feeling so flattered. Yeah, so what were your thoughts on like his future as like a singles guy?
Here's the thing, like,
you're getting tired, man.
I know. Here's the thing, like, I think Kenny, like we've talked about this before, whether or not he's gonna leave New Japan. You think he's gonna leave this at the end of this year?
Why are you blowing up my spot? Did I say that on the show before?
Yes, you did. You've mentioned it like several times.
I do. Well, yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more like more pronounced. The more that this storyline's progressing, I'm really feeling that way.
Yeah. Like, personally, at this moment, I don't think he's gonna leave. Just that he's the kind of guy that just wants like so much creative freedom. He's not gonna get that in WWE. I think he's gonna be in New Japan for a little bit longer. I'm not sure. I mean, I look back and I'm like, man, AJ Styles got an IWGP title run. I would think that if Kenny stays, that he would get one. Personally, I would want that to happen. I'm a big Kenny Omega fan. I love Kenny. Big mark for the V trigger. Like, I would love to see him have a IWGP title run. It all really depends on if he's gonna stay or go.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to think of the complexion of New Japan. So where could he potentially get a title shot? Okay, he could hypothetically, if he'd been in the New Japan Cup, then you got Sakura Genesis. Once Sakura Genesis is out of the way, where's he going to get a title shot? It's either going to be Dominion, King of Pro Wrestling, or
he has to win the G1.
Or he's got to win the G1 and challenge at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's about it.
Or if he's in the same block as Okada, if he beats Okada but loses in the finals, he can possibly get a title shot
at King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. So those are like the only places. Now, it's not that the title doesn't get defended other times of the year, but I mean, for Okada and Omega to wrestle again, it's got to be at King of Pro Wrestling or Dominion or at Wrestle Kingdom. Those are the only 3 shows for the rest of the year that he could possibly defend at or, challenge. Is it feasible that he could challenge at Dominion or King of Pro Wrestling this year? Yeah, it totally is. However, I'm going to say this. This is my prediction. I could be wrong here. I don't think with the storyline that they're doing that he is going to get a title opportunity. I think him and Okada are going to stay away from each other. I think we are never getting another Okada Omega match. I think we're going to get that trilogy.
That's it.
And that's it. And I think at this point, we don't even know if Okada will still be champion by that point anyways. So who knows? Maybe we will get another non-title match between them. But I think that this is a year-long program. I think the reason that there's so much creative emphasis between being the elite, between their Twitter handles and their YouTube videos and, what they're doing with their backstage promos and then the angles they're cutting and then the matches they're having. I mean, this is a masterwork that they're putting together that they've been thinking about and working on for a very, very long time.
Right.
And I think that it's leading to an eventual breakup between Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega, and that down the line we will get a Wrestle Kingdom main event between the two of them, and I think Kota Ibushi's going over. I think what Kenny wants to do is put his friend over and make him a made man in New Japan on the level that he never has been. He's just been right at that cusp and he's never been made. Right. I think Kenny wants to make him, and I think Kenny's going to go into that feud as the heel. And could Kenny stick around? Yes, but I think Kenny's gone. I think after this year, he's done everything there is to do. And I think if he
hasn't won the IWGP title.
He's never won the IWGP title, but I don't think that that's what matters to him. I don't think it's about saying I held the title. I think it's about being, I am the forefront and the future of this company. I'm the draw. I am the best guy. I am the star. And they're never going to go with him. And I think it's starting to become apparent that they're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And since they're not going to do that, there's nothing left for him. It's like a CM Punk situation, sort of.
Right.
At this point. So, the question that, that we were posed was basically what he said. He said, will he ever become IWGP champion? If he does, great. Kenny Omega is one of my favorite all-time wrestlers. I want him to be champion. I wanted him to beat Okada at, Wrestle Kingdom. It just didn't happen. But I don't even know if he's going to get another shot personally between now and if he sticks around, sure, he probably could be. He's one of their biggest stars, but I just don't think it's going to happen at this point. That's how I'm feeling. 6 months ago, I would not be saying this, but that's just how I feel right now with the way that their schedule and everything lines up.
Right. So,
great questions.
Like I said, we both want it. We be down with it, but we don't know if it's going to happen.
Now, I will throw this little wrinkle into there. If there was a tag team of 2 guys that could go off and still maintain their singles runs and then still be a top tag team, if there ever was a tag team like that, Golden Lovers is that tag team. Right. So could Kenny still maintain his single status and Kota also do the same thing throughout the year? Yeah, I absolutely think they could. But there's got to be a confrontation between them at some point.
Right.
There just has to be. That's what this is building to.
That's all, yeah. Because, they've said they want something special for their match.
If it ever happens, yeah.
Right, so.
And they're going to kill each other when that happens.
Yeah. All right, next question. Another question from Rance. He says, is Bullet Club over? Everybody is fractioned except the Tongans and Owens and Tokyo Pimp. Bullet Club is fine, Rance.
Rance, the Bullet Club is fine.
But, we've talked about this. I don't think the Bullet Club...
As it's progressing, where do you think it's going? Like where we sit now.
There's going to be some kind of split, but I think the Bullet Club brand is too over and too money making for them to just completely drop it.
Yeah.
Even if the Young Bucks and Omega are not in the Bullet Club anymore, that brand is still like a recognizable brand, and it's built to the point where like people will still buy Bullet Club merch even though those guys aren't in it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think the brand or the faction, the Bullet Club, will go away. However, there is going to be some kind of divide. With the young Bucks being more babyface, they're probably gone. Kenny Omega being more babyface, he's probably gone. It's probably gonna go back to being a mainly heel faction, with like the OG Bullet Club guys.
Yeah,
maybe Cody, still around in there.
I think that the Elite is leaving the Bullet Club. That seems crazy, and I know like the thing I've struggled the most with is the marketability, like this money making machine, and how much money they've made off of this brand and pushed it forward. But the more that this storyline goes forward, and the more that it seems like Cody is pushing for Marty to go off and to become his own guy and to become the villain. Right. And he actually posted something on Twitter that was kind of cryptic the other day. It was a picture of him getting the double V trigger or the double knee strike, and
the golden trigger.
The golden trigger. I don't really like that name, the golden trigger. To be honest with you, it sounds weird. It's like a golden shower.
Oh my god.
I don't like it, but he said, he's like, I didn't ask for this. I never asked to be in this, basically. And I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he said, "What makes a villain?" And he started talking about being a villain, and I'm like, he's going full villain. He's going to become the Marty that I know from Progress and that I know from Rev Pro, and like we're going to get to see the real Marty come into New Japan. Hangman obviously is trying his darndest to make a name for himself and to strike out as a singles guy.
Right.
And at whatever cost it takes. Obviously, Cody is like basically destroying the Bullet Club. The Young Bucks have talked about doing something selfish for themselves, and then you got Kenny over here doing his thing with Kota Ibushi. That just tells me that however this shakes out, I think they're all gone. I think all of them are leaving the Bullet Club. Now, I think being the Elite as a show and a brand will continue. I don't know if we'll continually see the Elite as a team all the time or anything like that.
I mean, there'll probably be different storylines with those characters.
I think, yeah, because at this point, if you're watching the show, you're getting a lot of cast members as part of the show, like Flip Gordon and Joey.
What's Flip doing here?
Yeah, that was hilarious on the last episode. He was like, oh yeah, on the last episode, Marty was like, he's like, I left for 1 week and you guys are all fighting, and now he's like, look at my hair, it's graying. And they're like, it's not graying. And then he like takes off his hat. He's like, it's freaking gray.
I'm 29 years old.
And like, Hangman's just looking at him like, what the crap?
He's like, what's Flip Gordon doing here?
He's like, what the freak is Flip even doing here? And then at one point, like Flip Gordon is like staring at the Tokyo Dome, and he's like, I want to wrestle there one day. They're like, yeah, Flip, maybe one day you'll get to wrestle there. And then Cody walks up. He's like, Flip, you're never gonna wrestle in the Tokyo Dome. He's like,
the Earth is round, you idiot.
Oh yeah, no, he goes, and you're not booked for All In.
Yeah.
And the Earth is round, you idiot. But with that being said, I think that being the Elite as a show will continue.
Right.
I think that they've got money behind that brand and that name. But I think that this is the swan song for what we call the North American Bullet Club.
Right. I mean, that also kind of plays into the next question. Rich asks, would you agree that Cody Rhodes was brought in to this as the exit strategy for Omega and the Bucks?
I don't know if originally that's what the intention was. I think more like the intention was, hey, this is a really marketable, ex-WWE guy, and we can mutually benefit from him being part of this. But once they started, because they didn't start using him as part of being the Elite for a while after he joined the Bullet Club and all that. But once they did, it became very clear very quickly that he was the antagonist of the show.
Right.
And I just went on a binge myself where I hadn't watched all the Being the Elite, but I've watched every episode now, and I am all caught up. I know about how they killed Adam Cole. I know all the inside jokes, FTR. I know it all. And I will tell you this, that the show got so much better once he got there, because he is the villain of the show.
He's great. He's great on that show.
I've got this like theory that I don't know if they'll ever pay it off, but I think like
something.
What were you gonna say?
Go ahead. I'll remember. Finish your thought.
I have this theory that like maybe Cody was sent by WWE to destroy the Bullet Club. I know that's like some far out booking and stuff, but like I remember an episode where Kenny Omega got like drunk on non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
And he started screaming. He was like, "I know it was Stardust. Stardust is working with the Stooge." And like he was drunken and all that, but he started like kind of alluding to the idea that like Cody might have got sent by the Stooge and WWE. And the more that I'm seeing how he's interacting, I know he wants to be quote unquote the leader, and I asked you this before, but I'm like starting to think like maybe his end game the whole time is just to destroy this thing.
Yeah, that's very possible.
And maybe one day, like if I was booking it, I would book the story where like he turns around and he's like, "I destroyed it all, and I got all your money, and I got all the like recognition and like notoriety based off of what you guys built, and then I destroyed it, and I'm going back to WWE.
Right.
I use this to make money, and now I'm going back a bigger star, and you guys can squander here on the indies."
That would be great.
I think that's kind of like, I don't know if they'll go exactly that way, but that's like the vibe I get from this whole thing.
One thing real quick I wonder, on a Rising, Cody was wearing a branded shirt.
Yeah, he ripped the branded shirt. That was so funny. If you guys don't know what brand it is, you have to check out Being the Elite. It's so funny.
All right, next question from Theo. He says...
He's got two questions.
Yeah, we've seen what the Bucks can do with larger opponents like War Machine and the other guys that fit that bill for a heavyweight. How do you think they're booking going forward? Well, I mean, they're...
Rock and Roll Express, brother.
They already got their first win as a heavyweight against Juice and Dave Finlay. I see them. I mean, I don't know what the anniversary cards are looking like. I mean, the New Japan Cup card. I don't know if they're going to be on those shows or not.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with Evil and Sonata, but provided that they're still champions, they're going to need other challengers. And there's not. I mean, right now, who are the tag teams in New Japan? You got God. Mm-hmm. You got Killer Elite Squad. You got, I guess, the Chaos guys, the LIJ guys, and that's about it. And then you got, like, what's their faces? Like, Tenkozy. Those are, like, the established teams.
I mean, Kojima's out for who knows?
He's out for a while. You've got the God off doing the six-man tag.
We could have had Best Friends, but Beretta's going to be out.
Beretta's gone. So, I mean, there are, like, established teams, but they're all kind of scattered. New Japan does a good job every once in a while just throwing guys together randomly, and they can do that, but... I mean, it's not a super deep division right now, so I would not be surprised if by Dominion we're getting a title shot from the Bullet Club or from the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Plus, like I've said, I see them being like, dude, these guys are anyone who like talks about these guys just being spot monkeys, you're clearly not watching the modern product because freaking the Young Bucks are having Southern style tag wrestling matches in New Japan. It is awesome.
Yeah, they're out here selling like crazy.
They're doing like the Southern style,
getting that shine on them, that heat.
They're doing like all the stuff that the Revival does, but on a more athletic level. Like right. I love it. So like yeah, I see them being like modern day like Rockers, modern day like Rock and Roll Express, or like the Fantastics. Like I think them going up against the big guys is gonna be awesome.
All right, and then his second question. I'd always been behind Tanga.
I think it means Tama.
Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Fale being the true Bullet Club. Do you see respect coming for Tama Tonga, who has held down the Bullet Club, to finally take over?
I don't know.
I mean, this is one of these interesting things. A lot of people have been asking, like, about can Tama Tonga take over the Bullet Club?
Like, what their role is in this whole thing.
Right. And I mean, I think he can. He has the potential to be a top guy and to be the next leader of the Bullet Club. I don't know if they're going to go in that direction. I mean, they're starting to be a little bit more outspoken about the OG Bullet Club, and Tama Tonga's always. I mean, we've seen from last year, Tama Tonga's always about the Bullet Club. He doesn't care about the Elite and One Sweet and the war between Kenny and Cody. He's about the Bullet Club.
I think ultimately, the blow off to the whole thing with like Kenny and Cody provided that they don't extend it out, it's gonna blow off in April at Supercard of Honor. They've already said basically that they're not going to follow a loser. So let's say Kenny wins. I think Kenny's done with the Bullet Club, and I think Kenny's winning this feud as well. Obviously, he's the babyface. So with that being said, there's no way they're going to follow Cody, especially since Cody's like hardly in New Japan anyways. I think that it could be a situation where they pretend like they're going to have Cody's back. I don't think we're going to get a feud between Tama Tonga and him, but I think they're going to beat him out and they're going to exile him from the Bullet Club once everything's said and done, just like they've done to all the other leaders in the past. And yeah, I think Tama Tonga will be considered the leader of the Bullet Club for all intents and purposes, unless they bring someone else in. I don't know. That being said, I don't know if like when people say like respect, I mean, I don't know, like Tama's pretty over in Japan as it is, so I think it's more like North American fans who don't necessarily see him as like a top guy. But I think that this year will be a good year for him in the G1, and I think that if he is put in the position of a leader, they'll have to push him. They'll have to, because they want to keep selling them shirts, brother. They want to keep selling that merch. And he's going to have to step up. Now, whether he can or can't is yet to be seen, but it'll fall on him. I think the opportunity's there.
All right, Josh. We've had the participants come out for this year's New Japan Cup single elimination tournament. The winner gets a title shot of their choosing. So on the top bracket, we have Big Michael Elgin taking on Tomohiro Ishii, Juice Robinson taking on Yujiro Takahashi. The Ace is back. Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on the newly heavyweight wrestler Taichi. And then we got the underboss Bad Luck Fale against Lance Archer. On the bottom side of the bracket, we have Yoshihashi taking on Kota Ibushi. Tetsuya Naito taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Toru Yano taking on Davey Boy Smith Jr. And Chucky T replacing Beretta, taking on Sanada.
Yeah, so we've got the New Japan Cup brackets. They did the press conference last night, and just a couple things out here that are just super shocking to me is like, I did not expect to see Hiroshi Tanahashi back this early. Like, not at all. And I think we talked about like how great it would be if he were to be in this, because there have been people that have speculated, well, could he go on and challenge Okada? But I did not think he'd be in this tournament.
I mean, dude, honestly, like, we've been talking about this. Like, is he even going to be at WrestleMania weekend at Supercard of Honor? Like, is he going to make, and Rev Pro, is he going to make his Mania bookings?
He's been saying he is, though.
Right. And, I mean, the bicep injury, he just refuses. I mean, it's one of those things that he didn't get surgery on it, so it's never going to be 100%. And he has been off the last couple tours, but still, like...
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do a full, like, breakdown of what's going to happen here, but I'm telling you right now, like, the match that I am most excited about...
Which that leads into Tom's question. He said,
okay,
which potential New Japan Cup match are you most excited for?
Oh.
So there you go.
Well, I don't know what most potential match I'm most excited for, to be honest with you. Like, I haven't actually done like brackets in my head and thought.
Well, based off the opening rounds.
Yeah, on the opening round, there's an easy answer. I mean, it takes just 1 second of even looking at this, and I have my answer right away. Michael Elgin against Tomohiro Ishii. Oh my God, bro!
That's the Haas match, baby.
Bro, that match that they had at the G1 2 years ago is so good. Oh my God! If you guys haven't seen it, go out of your way, go on New Japan World and look up Michael Elgin versus Tomohiro Ishii. It is one of the most insane Haas matches you will ever see in New Japan history.
Caleb, turn off Impact for a second and go look up this Ishii match.
You asked me the other day what was so great about Tomohiro Ishii. Watch the Elgin match, and I'm telling you right now that these two guys together, this was actually the match I hoped would headline the finals of the U.S. title tournament last year. Mm-hmm. So they've kept them away from each other for like 2 years now, and I am so excited to see Elgin and Ishii. What about you?
Honestly, based off the first round, that's the same match for me. I mean, there's no other. The Naito Zack Sabre Jr. could be really, really good.
I don't think we've ever seen Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle.
We haven't.
That could be really good.
However, I still think I'm more into the Ishii Elgin match. Besides that, I mean, there's nothing really else that sort of like stand out to me in the first round. I mean, Tanahashi and Tai Chi could be good if Tai Chi decides he wants to wrestle. And then depending how healthy Tanahashi is.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to do a full breakdown of these, these brackets. But I will say here that, like, in the A bracket, I think probably Ishii and Tanahashi are, like, the two favorites. So the fact that we might get that matchup is very exciting. That should be great if it happens. And then I'm guessing, I don't know, Kota Ibushi and Naito are in the same bracket, but I'm going to say like probably Naito's favored there. And then I don't know who he would go up against in the
finals,
the semifinals. Probably Sonata. Maybe a Naito.
Which we kind of talked about, like the whole Naito and Sonata need to face off.
Maybe a Naito and Sonata. So that could be very, very, very good. So, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. We're going to have to spend more time analyzing this. I know I am. But, yeah, I will say the brackets look weird, though, this year.
Yeah.
They're really strange.
And we had one more New Japan Cup question from Kyle Morris. He says, is Chucky T being included in the New Japan Cup another short-term thing, or will we be seeing more of him and hopefully the best friends in New Japan?
I don't know.
Well, Kyle, you've heard of by now. We've touched on it several times on this show that Trent Beretta, he is suffering from the torn bicep and the torn pec. He's going to be out for a while, so unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing best friends anytime soon, unless Trent wants to pull out Tanahashi and work hurt. And also, I think this is a short-term thing for right now, because originally this was supposed to be Beretta in the tournament, and so they're using Chucky T as a replacement. So I don't think, if Chucky T can impress in this tournament, and maybe kind of takes the rest of Beretta's bookings for the year, that could happen. But I don't think their original intent was for Chucky T to be full-time.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, I don't know if we're gonna I don't know if we can expect to see Chucky T, going forward full time. With that being said, though, a lot of the guys in New Japan are not signed to New Japan. A majority of the time, a lot of the workers that they have work contracted deals and work tours, things like that. A lot of the guys are freelancers already to begin with. There's very few guys that are signed full time anyways.
Right.
So I mean, he had a great showing in the tag league. He was on this Honor Rising, and he's coming in, and I think that this is kind of this is probably gonna be a tryout for him, if nothing else. And hey, hats off to the guy, because Chuck Taylor's been on the indies for years without any kind of major notoriety, and he's so smooth in the ring. Every time I see him, I'm like, wow, this guy's so good. So yeah, I'm excited to see him there. I don't know how far he'll go. He'll probably be out in the first
round.
Yeah, he's probably going to go out in the first.
Sonata.
Yeah, he's probably going to go out in the first round. But, the New Japan Cup always has a lot of upset victories, and it's really hard to predict. So, that being said, yeah, I hope we do see Chucky T going forward.
Right. All right, let's move on to Strong Style Evolved. We now have 3 matches official for that show. We already know that we had Rey Mysterio versus Jushin Thunder Liger announced. And now we know that Hangman Page will be challenging Jay White for the IWGP United States Championship. And also we now have official the Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks. And it's very surprising that they're doing this match at the Strong Style Evolved when this match could have been done in a bigger building.
Which match?
The Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
I mean, I'm not surprised that they're doing it in America. I'm surprised by, that match could draw.
Well, here's the thing, though, and I mean, other people have made this point, and I've thought about it. Yes, drawing a house is important, but at the same time, that's not all that's there. They also have to draw like a television audience and things like that.
Right.
And so, I mean, Mark Cuban, when he paid for this this event, I'm sure that they're intending for this to be part, if they're going to expand into America and draw people to tune in to Access and tune in internationally to watch it on New Japan and to get subscriptions, it's fine that they already sold out the house, but you can't just put on a crap card just because you already sold out the house. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put something there. And I think that this is like the perfect match actually to do that. I don't see like Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks being something that they're going to headline like a Dominion show or something of that nature with.
Right.
So I think that this actually is like the perfect place to put it, especially if we ultimately don't end up getting the Naito and Jericho type match. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's a great move because they have to draw subscriptions. They got to draw television ratings.
Yeah, we had a question from Reddit user IV5277, and he asked us for Strong Style Evolve predictions, but I'm not sure if we want to get into that until we get a little bit closer to the show.
I mean, predictions for what's going to happen right now. I mean, I don't have any predictions for what's going to be on the card. It's really hard to tell what's going to be on this card. I mean,
right.
These three matches, I thought for sure
I feel like at some points in New Japan, it's easy to see what they're going to do, but other times I feel like it's hard to see what they're going to do.
Well, with the U.S. show, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to see some Ring of Honor type talent headlined on this show, just like we did last year. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of multi-man matches, just like we did last year. I'm guessing that we're probably still going to get some sort of other title matches, whether it's the Never Belt or the IC Belt. I don't know if Okada is going to be defending the belt right before Sakura Genesis.
Right.
But with that being said,
He did last year, right? But Long Beach shows were in the
July.
summer, yeah.
It was before Dominion.
Right.
It was a little bit before Dominion. So, I mean, he could, if there's the right story going into it. That's another thing that we did not make mention of is Okada's not going to be in the New Japan Cup. Like we thought, like he made speculation.
It's one of those things, again, like we were saying, like, yeah, they have the freedom to say whatever they want, but sometimes that's not good.
Yeah, they don't end up doing it. So, I don't really know what's going to end up happening. I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of multi-man matches. Hopefully we get some big singles matches and stories going into this. I want to see Naito there. I want to see Tanahashi there if he's healthy. Okada. But I don't know what to expect.
Right.
I really don't.
and we'll have better idea when we get closer to that show, and we'll have full predictions when that's about to come out. And then also he had another follow-up question asking what's next for Naito besides hopefully fighting Chris Jericho. Well, we know that Naito's facing Taichi at the anniversary show, and now we see that Naito is going to be in the New Japan Cup, facing off against Zack Sabre Jr. in the opening round. I think Naito is a heavy favorite for winning the New Japan Cup.
If he wins, he's winning the title.
Yeah.
He's got to. I think earlier in the year that was my prediction, but then it kind of went away because the whole Jericho thing. And so I was like, all right, well, with the whole Jericho situation, if that's what's going to happen at Strong Style Evolved, then I'm kind of not going to go in the direction of Naito winning. But if he could easily go into Sumo Hall and end up facing Okada, and I think that he could take the title of Okada at that point. That would be a great way to tell that story of redemption, of him coming back, especially with the guys that are in his block. But with that being said, I don't really know what they're going to do with Naito. I mean, who does know?
Right. I mean, I would never... If you would ask me what is Naito doing after Wrestle Kingdom, I would have not said facing off against Yoshihashi and Taichi.
Yeah, he actually had some comments recently where he was kind of questioning the build of his booking, basically, to Tokyo Sports, and he was like, why am I wrestling Yoshihashi, who I've got no respect for? He's like, Taichi, I've got a little bit of respect for. He's like, but why didn't they have those guys fight each other and let me wrestle someone that was, like, notable,
right,
instead of putting me in these crappy feuds, basically? So, I mean, that even Naito doesn't really like the direction that his character is going in right now. But yeah, I don't know what they have for him. I think he's going to win one of these tournaments this year.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's not the New Japan Cup, or
he's winning G1.
I think he's going to win one of these tournaments this year. So I mean, that's what's next. I will tell you this. I do think Naito is going to win the title sometime between now and Wrestle Kingdom. Whether it's at Wrestle Kingdom or whether it's at Dominion or Sakura Genesis, I don't know. But I do think he's going to be the guy to unseat Okada. I absolutely think that. And if it's not him, I'll actually be shocked.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that happens or if they go with somebody else. And so recently, the guys, they just wrapped up their Australia tour. It's one of the most successful, like, out of Japan tours they've done. Multi-night tour.
Yeah, they were in Perth, Adelaide,
Melbourne,
and somewhere else.
Yeah,
I forget. But they the only show that they said like didn't do so well was the first night in Adelaide. I think that they said that they drew like 1,000 or something like that.
Right, and it was like a 10,000 seat building, I think.
Yeah, but they did incredible merch. But then on the next night, they essentially sold out the night 2 and night 3. From what I understand, night 3 they were about 300 tickets shy of selling out, and then on the final night, night 4, they filled up about 80% of a 3,000 seat building. So for them, this was their first like major tour like for New Japan in Australia, and from all like the indications of what they've reported, the officials in New Japan were extremely happy with the results of this tour.
Yeah, and they're definitely already planning on going back sometime, maybe again even this year, definitely again next year. These shows,
yeah, they said they're definitely going back.
Yeah, these shows are going to be on New Japan World at some point. We don't know if it's going to be the full shows or just the main events or what it's going to be, but Kevin Kelly and Don Callis will be dubbing over.
Well, I don't know if they are or not. That was the thing. I was looking into it, and there's definitely like commentary that's being added, but I don't know if it's English or not. I mean, I'm for sure they're going to do Japanese commentary.
Right.
But I would assume because it's Australia, if they're trying to appeal to Australian fans, they probably want to do English commentary.
Right.
But with that being said, I also heard that like the guys from TMDK were like the stars of the show this past weekend, and that they like really ran the angle between them and Bullet Club, and that like it was like really drawing.
Wow.
And that several of those guys are like getting looked at to be potentially brought into New Japan in the future going forward, and then that the door is open for a lot of different talent from New Japan to go back to Australia, right, and to continue the feud between TMDK and then
Bullet Club.
Yeah, and then there's I forget the one. There's a couple guys that were like really big standouts that they were talking about that like New Japan was like really Robbie Eagles. Yeah, they were saying like Robbie Eagles. That's a guy that might potentially have a shot at like being in Best of the Super Juniors this year.
What about Juicy Gino Gambino?
I don't know. But yeah, they were like very impressed, and then they were saying that they did something like close to like 200,000 in like what was it, merch sales or something like that. So I mean, this was a big tour for them. The only thing I wonder is like, with them running their standard tours that they do in New Japan, how can they, like, if they keep doing tours like this overseas as well, like, let's say hypothetically, because I mean, I think if they do this in America, they will do big business. I'm sure that they would do the same numbers or more if they did a multi-city tour in the US. But I mean, you have to be careful, like, burning out your talent.
Yeah, they're going to get them on that WWE schedule eventually.
They're going to have to do something, because if they keep like running these international expansion tours, I mean, they're going to have to do something to either expand the roster or do something, because I mean, that's tough, man. Like They were talking about like getting on planes four nights every night, flying there, flying back. Like that's crazy.
That's rough.
But yeah, so we will be checking out those matches when they get uploaded.
Yep, keeping you the coverage here. Also want to give you an update on one half of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Evil. He's out with an injury.
He broke his orbital bone.
Yeah, broke his orbital bone. Seems like there's a lot of orbital bone injuries recently. You know, Brian Kendrick is currently out with that.
Is he?
Yeah. Hideo Itami GTS'd him a little too hard.
Oh, that's right. Didn't they outlaw that after that?
I don't know. I haven't. Hideo, he lost against Roderick Strong after that, so I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
But so yeah, Evil's out with the orbital bone injury.
I don't know why you're talking about those bump skis anyways.
They mentioned on commentary on Honor Rising that they were not stripping Evil and Sonata of the championship.
That's very strange. Because that's not what New Japan usually does. We've seen guys like just get. Like, I remember Makabe. He like got the flu one year, and they took the title off.
Oh,
him.
you're sick? Give me that belt.
But the thing is like one thing that was interesting. They didn't have any scheduled title defenses.
Right.
So that's like probably the one saving grace. They did change the anniversary show to where it was originally going to be a tag match between Sonata and Evil against Yoshihashi and who was it? Goto. Which we thought was kind of weird because we thought that they're kind of like building up the match between them and Ishii and Yano. And so I guess in a way, not that we want Evil to be hurt, but it kind of works out because they don't have to do that weird tag match anymore. Because now we're getting Yoshihashi and Sonata on the anniversary show, which it is what it is. And Hiroki Goto's now been changed. I think he's going to be in a multi-man match on that show at that point. So, yeah, we got to change to the anniversary card. And do we have another question there?
Yeah, we have a couple more questions here. This comes from Howard. He asked, after the war with LIJ finishes, what's next for Okada and the members of Chaos?
Ruling the world, brother.
Chaos wins.
Chaos wins.
LOL.
They got the Booker on their team, brother.
Okada wins. LOL.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, I think the big thing that, like, the two big stories that most people are, like, really paying attention to when it comes to Chaos is, like, Okada's title reign and what's going on with Jay White.
Right. And then obviously they're heating up Ishii and Yano for a tag title match.
I think that they're going to lose that, though.
Yeah, but I mean, that's going on right now. They're heating them up.
I think it's just like busy work stuff to do, you know, keep them busy.
Goto's probably going to hold an ever title the majority of this year.
I don't know about that. I don't have any faith in Goto. I really don't. Like, hey, he's got a little title run that's going, like, great. Like, I'm ready to see, like, Zack Sabre Jr. come break his arm off and take that never belt.
That puny guy?
Give it to me. Let me in there.
Let me in there.
But, yeah, going forward, I think that the biggest thing with Chaos is, you know, the idea of, like, the infighting that is being teased and, like, the fact that Jay White is, like, kind of sowing his own little bit of discord. And so, I mean, that's kind of the running storyline. I don't think it's so much about who does Chaos fight. I think it's like, how does Chaos survive this cancer that's been added to them, which is Jay White.
Right. So, I mean, eventually, we're already seeing Bullet Club fall apart. I mean, Chaos could be the next stable to fall apart.
You've got Ospreay and Okada going at it in the next match, and it doesn't feel like a friendly exhibition match. It feels like they're like Ospreay's got a chip on his shoulder. He's out to prove something.
Right.
You got Okada like kind of turning into a
douche.
A DIL.
Dick in real life.
Dick in real life. And
that's why he likes the best friend.
That's why he's wearing them pants. Only a douche would wear those pants.
Oh
with that being said, yeah, like, I don't know, like, obviously Jay White has aspirations to win the title, and he's kind of pushing he's kind of made mention of, like, why doesn't Goto or Yoshihashi or Ishii, like, challenge for the belt? And I think that's the direction we're going to see. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think it's not so much about them dominating LIJ, but just how do they survive all the discord that's coming their way with Jay White.
Right. Next question from Reddit user Unwave Guide. He asks, will Taka ever get to do a Michinoku driver in 2018?
Is that even a story?
I honestly haven't really paid attention. I haven't even thought.
Like in these multi-man matches, have they been like teasing like Taka trying to hit the Michinoku driver and he doesn't get it? Like, I haven't noticed.
No, I don't know if it's like a sarcastic question or.
Of course, it's a sarcastic question. I speak sarcasm fluently.
This could be a big Taka Michinoku fan.
I love Taka Michinoku.
So do I.
I don't know. Let's just say, he's going to hit the Michinoku driver this year.
Okay. Next question.
It's going to be glorious.
Glorious. Chris. Next question from Undoubtedly Dean on Reddit. He said if we have any early G1 predictions.
Naito.
Yes, yeah, you going Naito?
I don't know. That's just what I felt like all year.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to go back to back.
Back to back? I mean, I can't really see anybody else, really. I mean, it's either going to be Naito or Okada, I would think.
It could be Okada. Like, at one point, I thought that what I thought was going to happen, this was a while back, I thought Okada was going to win the belt. Or, I'm sorry, Naito was going to win the belt, drop it to Kenny. Kenny would go into the Dome and lose it to Okada, who would win it in the G1. But now I'm like starting to feel like, man, Naito or like Okada's holding this belt till Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Forever.
And I kind of think like right now, because I don't know what's going to happen with the New Japan Cup, I think Naito's like he's my favorite to win both tournaments. But he's not going to win both tournaments. He's going to win one or the other. One or the other.
Right.
And so it's too early to say. But if you want my early G1 prediction, like it's only freaking March, and you want my August prediction, I'm going to say Naito, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it because it's too early. But if you want my early prediction,
mark this day, February 27th. Josh Smith said that Naito is winning the G1.
All right.
Which would be awesome if you're right, though.
Whatever. People are going to tweet me, you didn't fucking know. Like, I'm going to be like, bro, it was February.
But, pull up the audio.
Like, who's making G1 predictions out here like they're Nostradamus? Like, I don't know.
You are.
What's your early G1 prediction?
Dude, I have...
No, make an early G1 prediction. Just do it.
I'm going to go Okada.
Okay. All right. So you heard it right here. Okada.
You heard it first.
Okada's winning the G1.
February 27th. Jeremy Donovan says the Okada is winning the G1.
Okada's winning the G1 as the champion.
Put that on the dirt. Put that on the dirt sheet. Support that.
All right.
Last question here comes from Legible Toe 762. He says Sumo Hall, Sakura Genesis, and King of Pro Wrestling, and Budokan Hall, the 3 G1 final nights predictions for the year. In regards to the main events there, I think those are the ones that are most interesting. And the Dome, why not? So, man, we're getting people to ask. They want our predictions.
Yeah, like early predictions.
Super early, man. Trying to get us to say stuff that we probably shouldn't be saying.
So he wants to know, like, who let me see here.
He wants the main events
of Sakura Genesis and King of Pro Wrestling. And then he wants to know what
the A block finals, the B block finals, and the overall finals.
You want me to book the territory, brother? You want me to book the whole year out? I don't know.
For real?
For real? My God. I literally don't know what you want me to like predict here. Like, okay, Sakura.
All right, Sakura Genesis. So obviously the winner of the New Japan Cup.
Here's what I think is gonna happen at Sakura Genesis. The winner of the New Japan Cup is gonna wrestle the IWGP champion. At King of Pro Wrestling, I think whoever beat the champion in a singles match at the G1 is gonna wrestle the IWGP champion for the title there. Budokan, I think that the winners, the two top
the A block and the B block,
the two top A block and B block point leaders are gonna face off and face for the winner, and then the final night of the G1, the winners of those matches are gonna face each other. How about that?
And then the winner of the G1 will go on to Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and whoever wins, they're gonna go to the Wrestle Kingdom. And why do you say and the Dome? Why not?
I think like he said, like give us your Dome predictions. Why not?
Oh, you know, I thought he was asking was like why are they doing these matches in these small arenas? I misread that. Okay. Oh, and the Dome.
The IWGP champion's gonna is gonna fight.
He's gonna face
G1,
the winner of the G1. We're not making fun of your pick. It's just it's so early,
dude,
man.
It's super early, man.
I mean, I already told you. I think that Kenny is gonna end up facing Kota Ibushi,
yeah.
And I think that we'll get Okada and
I'll say this:
I think Okada and Naito are gonna headline again.
I think the Young Bucks will be in the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Title match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that they'll win the World Tag League this year.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What else we got? Is it? It's my time.
Yeah.
It's my time to shine.
My time.
Yo, I used to love that version.
So did I, dude.
So we've already kind of covered it, but we've got the live events going on in March. So February is wrapping up here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. So on March 6th, we're getting the New Japan Anniversary Show, which we've already given the rundown. We are super excited for that. We're going to be covering that on the next show, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that is going to have English commentary. March 9th, the first night of the New Japan Cup, we will be getting English commentary. We're getting New Japan Cup matches or nights on March 9th, March 10th, 11th, 12th, 12th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 18th, and the finals on the 21st. All the nights are going to be multi-camera with full commentary. We're getting English commentary in the last 4 nights of the New Japan Cup this year, which is insane. And for the first, I believe, however many nights, I forgot how many it was, but we're getting the way they're breaking it down is like night 1 they're going to do 2 matches from the A block, night 2 they're going to do 2 matches from another block, night 3 the same on and so forth. So we're getting multiple tournament matches each night of the freaking New Japan Cup. So we're getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 total shows, 5 of them with English commentary. They're doing way more English commentary this year than I ever thought we were going to be getting.
Kevin Kelly getting paid.
Yeah. And this is insane. March 21st, so a week later, on March 26th, we're getting Strong Style Evolved.
It's getting late, ladies and gentlemen.
In Long Beach. That's a Monday.
March 26th.
That's a Monday? We're watching this on a Monday?
I think in Japan maybe it's a Monday. Hold on.
That's kind of crazy. Anyways.
March 26th is a Monday.
Wow. So, yeah.
That doesn't seem right, though.
Yo, it's the Monday Night Wars. And then 4 days later, we're getting Sakura Genesis. So, bro, March is stacked.
Dude.
We've got 9 New Japan Cup shows. We got the anniversary show. That's 10 shows. Strong Style Evolved, Genesis. That's
okay. It's March 25th.
in America, so it's a Sunday night?
Yeah, it's a Sunday night in America.
Still, we got 12 shows to cover, plus we got these Australia show tours. So, yeah, March is going to be jam-packed.
Yeah.
Aside from that, let's see what we got here in the news for you guys. So earlier this week, Kenny Omega came out, or actually Chris Jericho came out on social media, and he announced that part of the Jericho Rock and Wrestling Cruise, they have officially announced and signed Kenny, not the cleaner, but Kenny, the best bout machine, Omega.
Yo, I'm trying to go on this Jericho cruise, man. Bro, are we going on the cruise or what, man?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't know if I can get time off for work.
Come on, man. Let's go on the cruise.
But yeah, so Kenny Omega is officially going to be on the cruise. I assume he's going to be competing. I don't know if he's going to be competing in the Tournament of Honor, but he will definitely be on the cruise. So, I mean, yeah, if you ever want to hang out with Kenny Omega, might want to go on this cruise. Earlier this week, the Honor Club officially launched, and just in time because they've got the 16th anniversary show coming up. So that is really awesome. I did do a little bit of digging into Honor Club, and I was able to find out that they do not, in fact, have the entire Ring of Honor library and catalog there. They are going to have all the television shows going back to HDNet.
Oh, dude, I used to love the HDNet show.
Yeah, so every single television show going back from HDNet till now is going to be on there. And then they do have select shows, but they don't have all the classic matches. And so for me, right now, it's a maybe. I don't know. Because essentially, you get... for what you would pay for a year is basically what would cost you to pay for 4 pay-per-views, and they did about 8 of them last year. So you're basically getting 4 for free plus everything else if you buy the 4. That's the way I look at it,
right? Essentially. And there's 3 matches booked for the anniversary show right now.
Big matches too.
We have the a one-on-one match between Cody and Matt Taven. The ROH World Tag titles will be on the line. The Motor City Machine Guns taking on the Briscoes. And then the main event is for the ROH World title. Dalton Castle defends against Jay Lethal.
Nice. And just a couple other things to run down. I thought this show was going to be super long, but I think we're about to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
So Sakura Genesis tickets have just recently gone on sale. They made mention of this on the New Japan website. They did say that there is a select amount of international tickets. So if you're in the U.S. or any of our other international listeners and you want to attend Sakura Genesis I believe it's in Osaka? It's at Sumo Hall.
I'm not sure.
Dang it! That's why we need a producer on this show. We need one so bad to keep things like in order for us. But anyways, if you want to attend that show, they have those tickets. You just have to go to the website, which is njpw1972.com, and they actually have the link there where you can buy those tickets. They will sell out. Like, I guarantee you, they sold out last year. With how hot this company is, those tickets are going to go fast, and there's only a limited amount if you are international. So be sure to check those out. Today, Monday, it is Monday, February the 26th, they released the free match of the week, which is the match from Rev Pro Global Wars UK 2015, the match between Okada and Will Ospreay.
Pretty much the match that got Ospreay signed.
And that's a very highly rated match. I've seen, usually what I see floated around somewhere around 4.5 to 4 3/4. So, I mean, that is a very, very good match, and it's free. It's on YouTube. It's on NJPW World. Be sure to check that out. If you want to watch free good wrestling this week, go watch that. If you want to watch something crappy, I don't know. We watched Elimination Chamber last night. A couple other things. So Kenny Omega tweeted out earlier this week. I actually read this. So there was a tweet that he retweeted, and it had to deal with the history of the Golden Lovers. Someone did an in-depth, thorough analysis of their entire history, kind of running down like from the genesis of the meeting to the feuds that they had to their breakup, leading up to their reunion. If you want to understand like the Japanese backstory and what this is all about, because maybe some of you are just like, hey, I like Kenny, hey, I like Kota, but what's the deal? They used to tag, that's all you know. There's a lot more to it. I actually read this thread, and Kenny Omega thought it was good enough to where he retweeted it and said, hey, if you want to understand what's going on, here you go. So if you follow Kenny Omega on Twitter, you've probably seen this already, but be sure to check that out. It's a really, really, really good read. Another thing, Kenny Omega is no longer going under the name The Cleaner.
That's right, the best bout machine.
Yeah, so I don't like this name. I mean, Kenny is the best bout machine, but there's no nuance to that at all.
You know what? It sounds like a WWE like nickname that they would have came up with.
The Big Dog. He's the best bout machine, damn it.
Goddamn, pal. Cleaner. What does that mean? Clean what? No. He's the best bout machine. Goddamn.
I miss Brumega. Do you remember Brumega? I like Kenny the Cleaner because there's nuance to that. I understand like there's a gimmick to that. There's no gimmick to I have the best matches. Like, wait, you should just call yourself like, oh, I'm Kenny Bret Hart Omega. Like,
you mean Kenny Shawn Michaels?
Whatever.
Omega?
I go out there and I have the best match every night. Okay. What? That's not a gimmick, Kenny.
The gimmick is a V trigger.
Oh my god. But yeah, so but officially, do not call this man the Cleaner. He will not take too kindly
Does
to
that
it.
mean I have to get rid of my Cleaner shirt?
If you are wearing Cleaner shirts, you need to get rid of those. Just like you need to get rid of your Too Sweet shirts and all of your freaking, I don't even know what is the Wolfpack like?
The Too Sweet, yeah.
The Too Sweet, yeah. You gotta get rid of all your Too Sweet.
Well, there is 20% off on Pro Wrestling Tees this week. I saw that. So go ahead and get you that Team Kenny shirt.
Do not buy a Team Kenny shirt. Oh my god. Let's talk about the level of finesse. These guys are out here selling These guys are out here selling a Team Kenny and a Team Cody shirt. Are you freaking kidding me? You know what else they're selling? God. They're selling the Bullet Club is Fine shirts. Are you kidding me? That is not... People have talked about like, oh, the Bullet Club jumping the shark and stuff like that, and I don't really agree with it. I'm like, they're doing their thing, but you know what really jumps the shark? Selling some substandard merch. These guys are getting desperate. They're like, we could put anything on a shirt and sell it.
And us marks will buy them.
don't freaking buy that, bro. Like, that's a terrible idea.
All right. I guess I could buy a Golden Lover shirt.
I don't even know if you should buy that. I wonder how long this Golden Lovers reunion is even going to last.
Gotta get them while they're hot.
This is like Y2AJ. It's not going to last.
Oh, my God.
In other Bullet Club news, the Young Bucks have had some comments in the media. They talked earlier this week about how they would love to wrestle the Usos and that it's like a dream opponent for them, which it's a dream opponent for me too. I think that match would be freaking awesome. But aside from that, Gallows, who is currently wrestling in WWE, he's a former member of the Bullet Club. For those of you that don't know, if you're like a new time fan, he mentioned that he thinks that the Bucks owe it to themselves to at least one day come to the WWE. And I also saw comments where Shawn Michaels made mention in the media that he thought that they need to come to the WWE as well as Kenny Omega. Basically saying that, hey, these guys can ply their trade, on the indies and internationally and make all the money in the world and, kind of run their own business. But ultimately, they deserve to show their craft on the biggest stage to the biggest audience that is out there. What are your thoughts on that?
Say that one more time.
Are you falling asleep, man?
No, I'm not falling asleep. I was
just that Gallows and Shawn Michaels think that the Bucks need to eventually come to WWE and be on the big stage.
Yeah, I mean, I know we all at times we can hate on WWE, but here's the thing: at the end of the day, they're the biggest promotion for professional wrestling out there, and there's so much money and there's so much more popularity that you get when you go to WWE. I mean, that's where the best come to really truly shine. Mm-hmm. And I think the Young Bucks, they're at that level. They deserve to be seen by millions and millions and millions of fans. They deserve to wrestle at 100,000 seat WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They deserve that. And I definitely think at some point in their career, they should seriously consider wrestling for WWE.
Spook WWE. Oh my God. In other news, the Young Bucks also had some comments. They were talking about Strong Style Evolved and that how when they had been talking to the New Japan offices that they had been pushing for them to do the show in a bigger building. And we've even talked about that. So that they wanted to wrestle in a bigger stage in North America. I mean,
right.
And clearly they could have easily sold out a bigger building. So, New Japan is being very conservative in their expansion. That's just the way they've always been.
I mean, partially you can't blame them for that. I mean,
a little bit you can. I mean, they could have really done bigger business for sure. But I see what you're saying. They're a conservative company.
I mean, it's kind of that thing where Japanese wrestlers, they come here, they don't realize how over they are. Maybe New Japan officials don't realize how over.
Hey, this is the same company that I think that they probably don't get it when it comes to North America a little bit. I'm not knocking them, but I mean, it's the same company that booked Hiroshi Tanahashi to wrestle Billy Gunn in the main event.
Right. Freaking Billy Gunn, the badass. Billy Gunn got a freaking IWGP IC title match.
And it was not good.
You kidding me?
The last couple things here. So Flip Gordon did an Flip. Who I also I think we're going to see him at Strong Style Evolved most likely.
But not All In, though.
He's definitely not booked on All In.
He's not booked for All In.
Even though he already came out with a graphic saying Flip Gordon's All In, but whatever. They did an interview on ESPN on him earlier this week. If you haven't gotten a chance, you should definitely check that out. Did you read that?
I did not. I know Rich sent it to us. I didn't get a chance to read all of it yet.
Yeah, Rich said it was good. So, I mean, if you want to check that out, they talked about him leaving the Army and, defending the country to, work kayfabe. So, and to do flips. So, that was cool. Last couple things here. Earlier this week, last week, Matt Jackson was talking about his travel schedule, and he was talking about, flying from Adelaide to Perth to Melbourne to, this place and that and the other, and then, flying to Japan, flying home. And then CM Punk commented, and he was like, try running a marathon after you do that, and then talk to me. And then he said, why don't we run one together in September? We all know that the All In show is going to be running in September, so kind of a little tease there. And then CM Punk commented on Twitter. He said, a lot of people are asking me if I'm quote unquote in.
Right.
And then he put ... half. What do you think that means?
I felt like there was more to that tweet. I think that he was like trolling.
I think he is trolling. I think they're saying he's going to have a fight coming up against Mike Jackson in the UFC, but I think I'm pretty sure it's going to be his last fight ever. So I'm like starting to think like maybe he's coming back. Either way, CM Punk's still a master worker and he's working us all. I'll let him work me. I don't care if it means that like I can put some
right. Okay, so this is what the real thing is. I knew that there was more to this.
What do you say?
So that it's not all in half. That's like 1 out of 2 tweets. Because the second tweet he tweeted out and everybody in Chicago Cubs thing.
Gotcha.
2 out of 2.
Oh, I read that incorrectly. See, I'm not. This is why you can't trust me because I'm not on Twitter. I don't understand how Twitter works, bro. Oh my god.
You got work, bro.
Well, one thing I didn't get worked on was the Supercard of Honor tickets because we bought them early.
Nice segue.
And yeah, I'm a master segwayer, salesman all day. Anyway, so we're gonna be at the. And in other news, if you guys are fans of this show, we are 5 weeks away from WrestleMania weekend, and me and the shooter, Jeremy Donovan, we are going to be in New Orleans. We are going to be catching all the best shows that all the New Japan talent is going to be at.
Right, we're going to be at the WrestleCon Super Show. We're going to be at Rev Pro, WWN Super Show, Supercard of Honor. So
we're going to be at all the shows that, you know, the talent of New Japan is going to be performing as well as other guys. Like we're going to be seeing Daisuke Sekimoto, other top indie talent.
Ishii.
Yeah, we're going to see Ishii,
Suzuki,
Ibushi. So
yeah, and we haven't really figured out what our game plan is going to be for coverage during that week.
We are going to cover it, though.
Yeah, we're going to cover it. We just don't know. We might do like a bonus episode that weekend, like live from New Orleans.
We're going to let you guys know who went over, who got worked, what the good matches were. We're going to tell you, we might even meet and rub elbows with a couple of the stars.
Yeah, I'm bringing my portable recorder. Hopefully we can like get a little... I'm interviews in.
Not me. I'm going out there. I'm like, hey guys, you want to go get drinks? We're gonna do hot like sake bombs. Like it's gonna be crazy. Oh my god. But anyway, so the cool news is we already bought our tickets for Supercard of Honor months ago before we even knew what the card was gonna be.
We bought them was like November.
All we knew was that Omega was gonna be there and the Ace was gonna be there, and that's all it took to basically get us in. Plus, NXT was sold out. But anyways, the cool news is that we've had speculation about how big this show is going to be. They have now officially announced that they are right at capacity. I might be rounding up a little bit, but they're right at about 5,000 tickets sold for this show. And they're set up for about what we suggested. They were around like 6,500 or around 6,000. So
the biggest ROH show in history.
Yeah, they only did like 3,200 or 3,500 last year. So they've already, this is going to be the
double last year.
Yeah.
Almost, pretty much.
This is going to be one of the highest attended
Ring of Honor shows.
Well, for sure it's the highest attended Ring of Honor shows, but it's going to be one of the highest attended non-WWE shows in North America in years. Like, it's going to be right up there with like TNA's like biggest houses they've ever done. And I mean, this is one of the like...
You hear that, Caleb? Bigger than TNA.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be one of the top 5 biggest attended shows outside of WWE in the last 18 years. And so we got awesome tickets. We're going to be there. If you haven't got your tickets, they are going quick. They did say that last year around this time, the ratio of tickets sold to tickets available was about the same. And by the time that the show actually came, people were getting turned away at the door because they sold out. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, you get them nosebleeds, brother, because they're going to sell out. I fully believe that at this point with the type of card that they're doing. I mean, Kenny's a draw. Cody's a draw. They're going to sell out.
Right.
So we're going to be there. And we are super, super excited. What do we got coming up next week, basically?
So next week, we're going to be having our coverage, the beginning coverage of our anniversary show.
Okay.
Because that's what, March 6th?
Yeah, and there's only 2 more days left in this month.
Right. So, yeah. So actually, our show next week is the same day as the anniversary show.
Oh, wow.
So we'll probably just have a little bit more preview for the anniversary show.
Oh, wow. We've got time to do a fun show.
All right.
We've never had time to do a fun show before. Oh, this is going to be awesome.
So yeah, we'll have something fun planned for you guys on that March 6th episode, and then the next week we'll give you a full review of the anniversary show, and then the New Japan Cup's going to be kicked off then too, so we'll be covering New Japan Cup pretty much the rest of March along with Strong Style Evolved. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming up. Also, we'll also be naming the February Wrestler of the Month and the February Match of the Month next week.
And if you guys got input on that, send it to us. We're not going to take too much stock into it, but we like to hear from you guys.
Oh, man. All right, so I think that's going to wrap the show up. So please continue to support our show by subscribing to the Social Suplex Podcast Network on your favorite podcasting app. Check out socialsuplex.com. Go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe. Sign up to get all the podcasts and columns directly to your email inbox. You can follow us on social media. On Twitter, we are at KI Strong Style. I'm at Jeremy L. Donovan. You can follow Social Suplex at Social Suplex. On Facebook, we're facebook.com/Social Suplex. You can join the Social Suplex's exclusive membership group, the Wrestling Squared Circle, facebook.com/groups/Wrestling Squared Circle. Be sure to check out all the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, including One Nation Radio, One Nation Live, the SMC Wrestling Podcast, and the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show from Scotland. So until next time, goodbye
And good night.
Bang!
Kota Ibushi is nothing more than Kenny Omega's rat. We have a say on being the elite. Bullet Club is mine. And I'll add one more thing. Bullet Club is mine.